when LeBron left his teams, his contract was up. So with Harden, you still under
But he's
contract.
just being a dick
He's
and
been a
breaking
dick.
contract.
Yeah. He's breaking his contract, and he wants people to feel sorry for him. You start talking about your ownership. The same general manager that actually got him all that money over there in Houston, went to that organization. He made him look bad. Like he don't really care about nobody but himself. It's just sad. And now he's gonna go to another team and probably bring that energy to the damn locker room, man. I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit at all. But I had to vent. My James Harden vent this morning. Yeah. Speaking of that, uh, the Giannis and Damian Lillard, they're gonna be a part of the beat in the East. The Celtics beat the Wizards. I'm just looking at the scores while I'm on here. The Warriors beat the Pelicans. That's crazy. Lakers won. The Bulls won. And the Mavericks beat the Grizzlies. So, man. Did you look into that Francis boxing match we was talking about yesterday, Dev?
No.
No, man. Yeah, the dude, they're about to rank him. You know he wasn't ranked, yo. He wasn't
Really?
ranked in the heavyweight. Yeah. He used to be a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
He wasn't ranked. Now they're gonna put him in the ranking. They're gonna give him a rematch.
How does rankings work?
Hmm?
How did that work?
I think they're gonna bring him a rematch. It's like you gotta have a certain amount of fights underneath you to be able to qualify to fight for a title shot. So, being that he took the champ to he knocked the champ down twice. So being that he took the champ down to that level, they're gonna give him a legit title match. They're gonna give him a legit title match. I can't wait.
And then a rematch?
Yep. I can't wait.
How do you think that's gonna go?
Do you know what, man? Well, good morning, Burner. How you doing? I think he might just I don't know. He's gonna have to the thing about it, Tyson is he could take a hit. He can knock that man down. He's gonna come right back up. He'll stand 10 toes and he'll fight. That you got to give him credit for. Good morning, Daniel. Jeremiah, what's up, nephew? Yeah. So the thing about Tyson is that that man can definitely he's got a gypsy chin on him, man. Hard gypsy. And I like him. But the fact is, he literally lost that damn fight the other day. They gave that shit to him. I'm going to admit that. The boxing game is crazy. He literally lost that fight the other day, man. But needless to say, my boy Francis got a title match. Said that he lost the fight. Now he looked like a hero. You know what I mean? Live TV, everybody knows, man. Everybody knows. He got that ass whooped. He did. He got that. He got tapped out, bro. The boy got tapped out. That's all I can say about that, man. They tapped his ass out. So, nah. Not at all. Not a good thing for the game. All right. I got a question for you, Dev.
What's up?
We have mad generations. You've been through literally, you 23, so you fairly from it. Okay. In your perspective, what was the best and worst thing about your generation? I just want to see what a psyche of our children, back and present. I'll tell you mine after you tell me yours.
Best and worst
About
my generation?
About your generation in a whole, in your makeup.
That's such a deep question.
I thought about it, man. I want to know where a kid's psyche at, bro.
That kind of question requires a bit of thought.
Dan Marabella, how you doing, Dan? Good morning, bro. Yeah, so I'm asking if you guys want to chime in, if you get on. I'm asking Devin if you guys want to tell me what in your generation versus where we at now, where your psyche, what was the best and worst times of your generations, and what do you think we are now today?
So for people that are like older,
Mm-hmm.
like 30s and beyond, are you asking them what age range are you talking about for
I'm
them?
talking about
Like in their
I'm
20s and
talking about
teens?
yeah, no, I'm talking about their whole generation. Like if I'm talking about me, I'm talking about the 90s, 2000s,
Right.
and how we came either positively or negatively to where we are today and what we could do.
And when you ask me
We
about my
moved there.
generation,
Yeah, because you're 23, so
you're talking about current, or are you talking about
both,
like mid 2000s?
both.
Both. Okay.
Currently, because when you grow up, you
Because the
got
current generation is not, there's newer generations in mine now,
mm-hmm.
you
Yeah,
know.
that's what I'm saying. Where the shift came because we ask like people my age. I talk to people my age all the time. Oh man, back in the '90s, but we always jumped from the '90s to where we at now. I want to know because you fall right in between.
Yeah.
So it is really important that I know what were the goods and the bads and where we could
Uh,
possibly go. I I think you give me that answer.
I don't know if I'm the best one for that answer,
Yes, you
though.
are, bro.
I don't know, because
Because
I feel like I did not have the average experience.
yeah, but from your experience, you speak from your experience.
Okay. I don't know. I generally don't like a lot of people of my generation.
Why is that? See that we peeling
Um,
we peeling that orange back.
a lot of just straight like morons, just idiots, like people, and it's hard to blame it on just them
Mm-hmm.
because someone had to raise them,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not trying to cast entire blame on a whole other generation
Mm-hmm.
either, but there's a little bit of shared blame there
Mm-hmm.
because I think a lot of people my age, um, and even a little bit older and even a little bit younger,
Mm-hmm.
are just straight, like they're both lacking in intelligence of like common sense,
Mm-hmm.
but also in like, well, no, they're lacking in just straight like logical thinking, critical thinking,
Mm-hmm.
and common sense, like street sense.
Okay.
Like people just can't, like, there's so much and also sensitivity.
Mm-hmm.
I think the sensitivity, like it's okay to be sensitive in the sense of being aware
Mm-hmm.
of things outside of your bubble. But like, because I think there's two different like definitions of sensitive. Like being sensitive to something
Mm-hmm.
means that you like acknowledge that it exists.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But it also means people also generally think of it as when you're sensitive, it means like fragile.
Mm.
You get what I'm trying to say? The difference.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of people, my generation and millennials, I'm not millennial technically. I'm like right in between millennial and Gen Z.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't really claim either.
Okay.
I'm like an in between spot.
Dude, I'm gonna log. I'm gonna jump onto the Bluetooth. I might
All right.
get somebody in to get a perspective because yeah. What's up, Alan?
I
Alan, let me know if I could bring you on the screen for a minute so we could talk about generational.
but I think a lot of I think another challenge that has yet to be completely figured out is, my generation and millennials too were sold and grew up with this idea of like heavily being pushed this idea of, just work hard, go to college, you can do anything you want to,
Mm-hmm.
when that's not, life isn't as straightforward as that. And a
Yeah.
lot of people grew up thinking that that's how you get through,
Mm-hmm.
and are left, having to figure shit out because it's way more challenging than that.
Mm-hmm. So you think they thought things was a lot easier? It
Um,
was like you sound like you said entitlement.
Not really. I think entitlement is a separate issue, but it also exists
Mm-hmm.
because I think there's a tiny amount of that entitlement
Mm-hmm.
it in feeling is justified
Tanker.
in the sense that of being sold that idea.
Uh-huh.
Because like I said, we grew up with this, well, me and I would say millennials mostly
Mm-hmm.
sold that idea of just, like I said, do good in school, go to college, do it, you can do whatever you want.
Uh-huh.
When in reality, with economic factors and political factors and things changing and things changed really quickly, like on a dime,
Mm-hmm.
it's not that straightforward
Mm.
to just grow up and do whatever you want to do.
Okay.
You can, the best of the best people who like push themselves
Mm-hmm.
and create paths forward for themselves will do that, will achieve that.
Okay.
But the average person,
No.
it's not that easy. And I feel like we were fed that idea that it is that easy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like the generation before millennials kind of got a little lucky.
Now,
with,
how is that?
economically?
Mm-hmm.
Or not before. What is before? I'm talking about like the boomer generation, not
Yeah.
whatever is before. Not what's before millennial.
Talking about
There's more.
Gen X.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the like boomer
The
generation.
boomers, that's our generation, yeah.
Well, I don't think you're
80s, 90s.
before that. I think is boomers.
Oh, you talking about 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I could be a little off. I'm not sure, but the boomer generation collectively has like everything,
Mm-hmm.
has all the wealth, has all the status,
Oh,
and
yeah, that was
everything,
good, yeah.
and it takes, and they're living longer than previous generations that had that.
Yeah, that was that generation before us.
So, right. So it's harder now for younger people to move up because the people above them are staying there for way longer.
Yeah. Like, you're right. Like, if you look at politics, it's all them old heads before my time.
Right.
That's still sitting
Before
there.
your time even.
Yeah, before, you're right. Before my time.
They've been
man.
in politics longer than my entire life.
Exactly. And that's why some of the rules don't change.
Yeah.
Some of the policies don't change.
They either don't change at all or they change in stupid ways that don't make any sense.
Yeah. That I might have to agree with you on, man.
But I think it's not just political. I think it's an economic factor that plays there in there too.
Mm-hmm.
Because that same generation owns all the big businesses. They have all the wealth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they run everything. And traditionally, how it's supposed to go is over time, you know, they move out of that
Right away.
and another generation takes their place.
Yeah.
And slowly that will happen.
Mhm.
Of course, that's
Yeah.
nature. It has to happen.
Yeah.
People are going to die unless they literally develop immortality.
Mm-hmm.
But
you never know nowadays.
yeah, you
Them
never
old
know.
folks look like they ain't
never
going
know.
nowhere, bro.
yeah. Now I'm not trying to make a sob story an excuse for why my generation is like why I disliked them.
No.
But I think there's a few valid reasons why my generation is a little bit behind,
Mm-hmm.
and I think there's a few valid reasons, and then there's a few that are self-inflicted.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the self-inflicted ones are just straight like oversensitivity
Mm-hmm.
to issues and not having a sense of perseverance.
Okay.
Um,
So you saying they're a little sensitive?
huh?
They're a little sensitive?
Yeah. Well, because I feel like we were touching on this the other day.
Mm-hmm.
On we have so few problems, so few major problems
Mm-hmm.
that we look for, as a society, we look for the next thing on the priority list
Mm-hmm.
to pick apart, and the more things that you solve, the smaller and smaller the issues become.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that might sound like an oxymoron when I compared to what I just said about millennials and whatever not being able to move up, because that is an issue too. But like general, I guess a good example of what I'm trying to say is general necessities, bare necessities are met.
Mm-hmm.
Roof over our heads, food in our mouths, water to drink. We got running water, toilets,
Good
we all
morning,
that.
sis.
But people aren't moving out of their parents' house until they're in their 30s,
That's crazy. You're
which
right.
is, I think, an economic problem
Mm-hmm. Well,
that started before them.
sometimes,
Sometimes, not always. There's some losers
because
out there that don't do anything.
but it sometimes it's like, what's up, Francis? Josh, what's good, man? You want to come on the screen, Josh? But the thing is, sometimes it's not that they don't. It's like they stay with the parents because the parents, like, that was growing up around my time, it was a little harder for us.
Mm-hmm.
We was, what I mean, had to get it, and then we go have kids, and then we tell our kids the same thing. We're gonna give you something we never had. So
Right.
we end up spoiling the shit out of them,
And that's a little bit of that where that entitlement comes from.
Entitlement comes in.
And
You're
I
right.
think because
And then
the
we're not
previous generation
Yeah.
prospered so well,
yeah,
they overcorrected
mm-hmm.
in giving their new generation too much.
yeah. And the thing is,
Too much of what they don't need.
guys, we're talking about generational changes through different, I guess, different times.
Yeah.
And how, because Devin is 23, so I was asking him from his time, where did he see the shift at? What was the goods and the bads about his generation? So he touched on some entitlement stuff. He touched on the old heads before us, before my time, that some policies, you know what I mean, and positions that need to be updated and changed or not changed. So with the question I'm asking yours, the same question. If you guys want to chime in and help me out a little bit, through your generations, Tinker, Dan, because Dan has children. He's been through a few generations, and where the sense of entitlement came in, and why some of our kids are staying home longer than
I
they
think
used to.
part of that problem is, to put it into more precise words, I think, is when the older generation stays at the top for too long,
Mm-hmm.
the younger people have no upward movement. There's less room for them to move up.
Yeah.
So they stay stagnant in one spot
See,
because there's no economic way for them to keep going.
and I'm trying to. You know what I've been trying to figure out? Where the disconnect came, bro. Like not even office. Where the disconnect came with us in that generation. It's like at first it was like all for one, one for all, and then all of a sudden we came from, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking, to be honest with you, the evolution of technologies probably have a lot to do with it.
That makes a big difference too.
You know what I'm saying? We might overlook that.
There's a lot of factors involved there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways that it's impacted things.
Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking to that because we the more social media got, the more antisocial we got.
And the world became smaller.
Yeah.
And now everybody's worried about international issues
Exactly.
instead of what's going on in their own life.
Yeah. Do you think that was by design, bro?
I think everything is a little bit by design.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think there's probably forces at play that will push
Agendas?
for certain agendas. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't say that they're always in 100% control.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're making nudges towards certain things.
Brian,
But there's always
good morning.
competing forces too.
Yeah. Because now, just like going back to the shootings, when I did the research, it's baffled me when I'm sitting there like, damn, boy, the most shootings we've had was always like election years, man. It's like every time there's a big push for power, that's when a lot of BS starts happening. And they want to push the mental health aspect. And I don't know, man. I think in my mind, I don't understand it. But nowadays versus back then. I don't know where we lost it. Where the OGs, it's not OGs anymore. Where I mean, the old heads are coming back. Yeah, man, there's nothing we can do about it. I'm like, to me, we were a little crazier back then. But see, the thing with this society is, I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a this last era. I think that's probably, and we had the crack in the '80s and heroin, but the new drugs they put on these streets nowadays, man, I'm like, they make crack look like candy.
I think that's another thing
You know what I
with
mean?
technology,
Mm-hmm.
and internet access and
Yeah.
technology getting cheaper and easier
Uh-huh.
is um more people have the ability to fuck things up for other people. Does that make sense?
I like the way you put that. So eloquently put.
Because I think before, the further back you go, the harder it is, the more wealthy you have to be
Uh-huh.
to have actual power to fuck things up for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, you're on point.
Because now, someone with the internet can learn how to make a bomb,
Yeah.
and they probably would not have done that if they didn't. Well, I mean, you could have done it in the library too, probably, but the internet made it a lot easier.
Yeah, but see, the library, the internet, you can hack. It's like the control. Because if you go to the library and you have to go and sign a book out on making bombs, and at least somebody
Anarchist cookbook.
yeah. What you know about that, man?
I know some things.
What you know about that? See, I sound like an old ass man. That's before your time, young boy. You know about the cookbook. Shit, I gotta watch out. Damn, I fuck around and blow us up this morning, dog.
Nah.
Mm-hmm. Alan Blaze, let me shout out Chenka, Shamika, Brian Williams just popped on. What's up, Ryan? Jeremiah, nephew, sis. Let's talk about the generations and the changes, man. What do you guys think the changes were in the generations, man? Let me know. Give me a call. I got my phone hooked up, and let's talk about this. Devin made a lot of good points. We talked about the technology. I mean, I don't know. It's like one day everything was all good. We're playing football outside, and the next day nobody want to come outside. Everybody want to stay in the house. Everybody want to play video games. Like I was thinking about when I was younger. We used to be outside all day. We used to be we used to jump on the trains. We used to those shoot KNG TV network. Download the app. Since you put it on there, I think God is talking to me. Put it on. Go download KNG TV network. You also automatically get a chance to win a brand new Nissan. We're gonna put the countdown up there to see how many subscribers we got. So you got to go in there and subscribe and enjoy the TV shows. We got TV shows, we got movies, we got different genres. We're about to do the pay-per-view, the morning show, and and all the other shows is about to start airing on KNG TV network. So please, is it TV network 2.0?
The app itself, is
Yeah.
KG TV Network
Yeah,
2.0.
2.0, yeah. So you go ahead and download that, and also download the King Radio app, King Radio Network, King Radio broadcast, and go on Facebook on King Radio, and the show is aired on King Radio. I'm on live on Facebook, and we're also live on King Radio on Facebook too. So you got double whammy, and I'm looking at everything, talking to everybody. I need y'all to join in the conversation. If you got my number, give me a call and let's talk about it. I know you got your parents out there. You seeing the different generations, and we want to talk about where we think we're going now with the new kids. We got entitlement issues that's going on with these young cats out here, and all these guns, all these like just straight up kids just snapping. Hey, Helen, how you doing? You a good person, Helen, to be on right now because we're talking about generational changes and where we came from and how come there's less OGs out here that's taking lead and mentoring these kids than we usually have. So if you have any input, you could either give me a call or you can just type something or request to come on the screen, and I'll put you on the screen. But it's good to have you guys on this morning, man. We got some numbers on both sides, so I'm pretty happy about it. So, Devin, okay, we talked about where it came from. What were some of the positives from your generation that you seen or the generation before you could compare?
Positives?
Oh, hold on for a minute. Shit. Shamika got little boy knocked on my door asking Ethan to come out. I can't see that. To come out and play. And Ethan told him, no, bro. I'm having a lazy day. What?
It's valid.
He said, her son is so cute. He said, no, bro, I'm having a lazy day.
Mental health day.
Oh, my God.
It's valid once in a while.
Tell Ethan he's not allowed to have a lazy day. Tell Ethan he got to go outside and play. There's no days off out here in these streets. Yeah. So, yeah, Dev, what was some of the positives, and what do you think we can move forward to? Well, let's talk about moving forward later. Let's talk about the positives.
I'm thinking. Hold on.
Wow.
Well, I had to think about the first answer too.
Mm-hmm.
Putting me on the spot with these.
These
These are deep. And I don't want to. These are deep and real questions, and I don't want to just say some bullshit.
Yeah, I don't want the bullshit, man, because I really want people to get on here to share their thoughts to see if we could drill this down a little bit. Happy Halloween, y'all. Devin is thinking about his answer right now. TikTok. If you guys got an answer, you guys want to share your generational crisscrosses, where we came from to where we going to where we at, your positives and your negatives from the changes from growing up. I'm trying to figure out where the change has hit, man. I can't put my fingers on it.
Do you ever, you've heard of the adage that strong men create good times,
Mm-hmm.
good times create weak men,
Mm-hmm.
weak men create hard times create strong men?
Yeah.
I think we're going through the hard times phase.
Yeah.
And I think this doesn't apply to everybody
Mm-hmm.
because there's outliers.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're in the weak men creating hard times phase right now. And I think the next generation will be the ones to really pull through and do some. I'm not saying we didn't do anything great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying there's nothing good.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying I think the next generation will be the one that picks up the torch and starts changing some stuff, moving in a new direction.
Mm-hmm. All right. Shamika said technology is why there's such a big disconnect right now.
Yes. I think technology developed so rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, the older you get, the more set in your ways you become.
Right.
Just as a generality.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that doesn't apply to every single person, but most people.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, the technology grew faster than they could care to comprehend.
How do you think it grew that fast, that quick, bro?
Yes, it did. Absolutely.
Because with us,
Think about the last 100 years. Think about it on a bigger timeline.
yeah, I'm thinking about I can only think about the last 50.
Well, think about just history in the last 100 years.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
So I don't remember who said this from. I don't remember who I'm taking this quote from, but our time in human history is it's the most different than it's ever been. What I mean by that is for generations and for thousands, hundreds and thousands of years, humanity does the same shit up until the last few hundred. Shit started changing very rapidly because of technology advancing so quickly, exponentially.
You might be right about that, bro. Because I'm thinking from my times where we came from, like I've seen the rotary phones in the houses,
Mm-hmm.
all the pay phones in the streets, and then we came from those phones.
In just a couple hundred years, we went from scrolls to smartphones.
That's crazy. Wow.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the type of scale.
But a couple of 100 years,
That's
though,
only a few generations.
Yeah, that's a long time, though.
That's only a few generations. 100 years is only a few generations.
It's like right now.
My great-grandfather died a few years ago. He had 94. He was born in 1926.
God, that's a lot.
And he was still alive today,
bro.
Almost, just a few years ago.
Yeah, that's a lot of damn knowledge, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, time is so weird because the stuff going on around us, like just society, at least in the first world, or in the West, people might say sometimes. In the first world, things are changing way more rapidly.
Do you think that they're taking away from us the stuff that brings value to being a human being, that brings value to our ancestors? Because, like, technically, they damn near trying to get rid of farming, which we need. Like, if you eating artificial seeds, like the food is so different now.
That's another big change is agriculture.
The food is different.
The fact that we can produce so much abundance of food and support a massive population, that's another technological change in the last 100 or so years.
You know what they say, you are what you eat.
Yeah.
I think that's got a lot to do with it, the food.
I think the thing with technology is I think things develop so quickly, too quickly, to the point where we find a solution to a problem, but we act on it too quickly without finding out what the ramifications are.
Exactly. I think
a big example of that comes to my mind on the topic of agriculture is like pesticides.
Yes.
Because we figured out ways to take off bugs and preserve crops longer and better and grow crops bigger with GMOs and all that stuff. But we didn't know or take the time to figure out what the result of that stuff is in our food and in our bodies.
That's crazy.
And we're only now like realizing, for the last probably 20 or so years.
Yeah.
But only now are we like doing something about it.
Yeah. Because right now it costs more. When you ever been to the grocery store and see the prices of the natural products that we should be putting in our body versus the BS? They make that BS cheaper to buy.
Yeah.
So if you go on a vegan diet, it's so expensive to eat, and the regular stuff we should be eating is so cheap now, and that to me is like that's baffling.
I think it would be good if, again, those cheaper things weren't full of microplastics and pesticides and preservatives and things. So because if it's at the same time, having abundant, cheap, long-lasting goods is the reason we have a big population that can survive. Now,
imagine what's that doing to a mental though. What we feeding our brain with? It's
right.
It's almost scary, dog. Just thinking about it, it's like shit. And we just doing it.
Just doing it.
We ain't got no choice. You got no choice, man. You just doing it. That shit is crazy. God damn. But let me see. I'm trying to figure out how we think we could change this. Even our politicians, man, they getting older. They're not getting younger.
This is gonna sound really bad, and I don't want this to come off as I have no malicious intent with this statement.
Okay,
this is just a feeling.
Okay,
I don't feel bad when politicians die because they've been doing that. They've been doing this thing for way too long.
So you just sit there and wait for them to just be like,
I'm just like they drop like I just like oh well, it's like let's move on.
oh man.
I just don't feel bad when they die or they get removed from power for whatever reason because government is a big joke right now.
Yes.
I don't think government as a concept is a joke, but I'm saying our government in its state right now is a joke.
Why do you think they pushed all these agendas on us the way they push it, and then try to push it to the other countries? And it's so sensitive. Like I want to go back. It's like I'm looking at, for example, watching Eddie Murphy Raw.
Sure.
You watching Kings of Comedy. People used to go out. Back to Richard Pryor. You hear the stuff they used to say. And it's okay. People went out. They were like, I'm going to a comedy show. They might say some crazy ass shit, but we're going to fucking laugh our asses off, and we're going to go home, and we're going to fucking watch it again. And back then, before my time, they had them boys on records. So the families just sit around the record player just to listen to them and knew that it was just entertainment or it was just comedy. Now we at the place where you can't say shit about nothing, even if you're a comedian. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Where the heck did this culture start, bro?
I think some of the people that you mentioned and the types of comedy that you mentioned I think it does a disservice to just call it just comedy. Because I think a lot of comedy, now, not all of it, but some comedy is more than just entertainment, and it's subtle philosophy and subtle reflection on society. Because those people going up telling stories and telling jokes and observations about what's going on around them, they're putting their twist on it to make it easier for somebody to ingest it, but they have to get that data from somewhere. They're getting it from the real world around them. You know what I mean? So I look at comedians and things as philosophizers and storytellers. And
that is true. They put it in a way, they take real situations and put it in a way you could laugh about it.
They'll put it into a nice package.
Yeah.
And I think people that take strong offense to that, to stuff, in the back of the head, they know that that's not just comedy. There's more to it than that. And they're offended by things that go against what their beliefs are.
No, it is. I'll be honest with you. To me, it is just comedy because that's what we label it to be. And everything we do come from somewhere. Rap music came from Melly Mel the Message and evolved to where it's at now. You know what I mean? We know rap music is entertainment, but at the same time, it's a coping mechanism. It's like, okay, I'm going to rap about what's around me on a beat and make it sound good, but also share my pain, and somebody that could resonate with that could say, damn, that's what they're going through. That's what we living. That's what we doing. I'm going to go ahead and buy that record. But at the same time, I'm going to dance to that record. I'm going to move to that record.
I think comedy is the same thing.
The comedy is the exact same thing. Because, yeah, for example, you got D.L. Hughley. He's talking about a lot of political stuff that's going on. It's not made up stuff. It's like, yo, this is what's what. But they put that little twist on it just to make it funny and have people thinking. It's a form of educating us in a sense. So every comedian have a different comedic style.
Even comics that are not talking about political things.
Yeah, no, that's
they're
what I
talking
was
about
to say.
things that are usually talking about things that are based in society
Yeah, exactly.
or their life.
Stuff that exactly their life and stuff that we see and sometimes overlook. And
Right.
then
It makes you think.
exactly, bro. Exactly. So, but now when they do that shit, they get shamed for it. It's
Right.
like,
And that's
wow.
my point. And that I think the people that do get do the shaming, that get offended
Yeah.
and try to cancel them and all that, I think they, in the back of their head, they recognize that comedy is not just mindless entertainment, and they have an issue with people spreading information or ideas that goes against what they
See,
believe.
and to me, that's my thing. That's the point I'm trying to make. Comedy is what it is. It's just entertainment. They're attaching their emotions and their own opinion to it, and then they're making it broad. I think it's the groups. It's like, for example, if I'm sitting there and I'm talking about my life and my opinion, because that's what a comedian is. They talk about random topics. They talk about their experiences, their opinion, their life. They get paid to do that. If I go to the show, like when I go to a football game, I put a jersey on. I represent the team. I know I'm going to go watch football, so I'm going to talk nothing but football. If I go to a comedy show, they call it comedy for a reason. Yeah, it's just they're going to talk about everything. They talk about people in the crowd. You have to go in there with an open mind. There's times even now I go to a comedy show. I remember one time I was in a Def Comedy Jams actually, and I had cornrows on one side. I had this side open. The dude just started talking about the cornrows and that side open. I laughed because I knew where the hell I was. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, "Oh shoot, you talking about my hair?" Da 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 da. I put myself in that situation. I chose to not buy a ticket. I was dancing on the show at the time, so I chose to go to the show knowing that, you know what, anybody could get it. So he can talk about anybody and make it funny. And actually it was funny. And I laughed about it. I was like, all right, we laughed together. And after the show, he was like, man, I had to get you, but that shit was different. I was like, nah, man, you're good. You're good. You did your job. It was funny. I didn't get butthurt over it.
Right.
I didn't go do a rally with all the boys in the hood that had the half cornrow and half afro. I didn't say, hey, he said something about my afro. So everybody that's got cornrows now, we got to go and da da da. You have to really, if you're a sensitive person, don't go to the show.
Right.
I think the ones, to be honest with you, I think the ones that get in their feelings is the ones that need to stay ass at home. Because you taking away.
I agree.
Yeah, because you taking away from the people that really goes there and understand why they going there. Like, I'm going there to just laugh about shit that's random. That's what we're doing when we go to a comedy show. I'm not going there to take what that man says serious. He's a comedian for a reason. Yeah, they're going to hit on certain points, but they're going to make it funny. It's like, I've seen him talk about Obama, the way he speaks, the way he talks. They impersonate Obama. If you look at P and Kill, that's just, Obama never called him and said, hey, man, I don't like you making fun of me. He's like, that shit is funny as hell. Y'all keep doing it. Make sure you do it right, though. You know what I mean? That's the mindset. I think the wrong people are watching the wrong things. If your mindset is not on comedy, if you're not watching comedy to laugh and not take it serious, then don't watch comedy at all.
Some people have this attitude that everything needs to cater to them.
Yeah, no. I don't think that, and that's where
They think that everything needs to appeal to everybody.
and that's where I think that's why I get pissed off at, because now you got a bunch of butthurt people that probably shouldn't be at the show online talking about, oh, this comedian said this about fat people. Dude, this comedian's talking in general.
And this goes back to technology and everybody having an elevated voice that they haven't earned. And being able to speak out about it and thinking that their opinion matters more than other people's.
Exactly. Everybody's a professional now.
Right.
Everybody's a journalist. I call them. I call them internet journalists.
Yeah.
Everybody's a journalist. Everybody. Oh, such and such said, like now they're killing Dwight Howard.
Really?
Yeah, killing Dwight Howard. Everybody's got a show. I couldn't go to sleep tonight until I report on Dwight Howard's situation. I was like, dude, that ain't really got shit to do. Why you losing sleep over Dwight Howard? Y'all need to talk, and they be breaking shit down and not having the facts. First of all, have your facts. Don't call somebody anti-Semitic and you know they're not anti-Semitic. Don't be quick to put labels on people. Be judgmental, but want people not to judge you. That's what kills me. Everybody's pointing, alphabet community is pointing fingers at everybody, but you all is judging everybody that says anything about anything. What makes you better than that person that said anything they said about that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my thing is sensitivity, like you said, plays a big part of what we're going through today. If anybody agrees with me, please chime in. So I think sensitivity is what's killing us today. We just too damn sensitive. Everybody want to cry about every little thing you do, every little thing you say. You want to cry about it, and they want to cancel you. When I don't know. I remember I used to have to go to the payphone with a pocket full of change, man, after my beeper went off in the rain. I think I broke up with somebody over that shit.
You broke up with somebody that way?
Yo, bro. Like, Devin, if it's raining, good morning, Anika, I'm dating a chick, and I get on the phone, I'm like, yo, it's raining hard as hell out here. On the phone talking. Now you got to put money in the phone. So you just pay money to talk right away. It's not like you get a phone bill at the end of the month. It was pay as you go back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Put the money to pay for. She's like, oh yeah, we start talking. I'm wet. Oh yeah, hold on. My friend's on the other line. I'm like, what? Hung up the phone. Never talked to her again. Never talked to her again. They're like, what happened? I was like, man, shit. I walked probably, I think it was a half a mile and shit, man. Half a mile in the rain. And got on the phone and told you I was in the rain. And you tell me to hold on. I was like, oh, no. We're not holding on at all. It's a shame, man. You never experienced a beeper.
Maybe it's for the better.
Huh?
Maybe it's for the better.
Dude, yo, let me tell you something. We used to have to remember beeper numbers because I think the beeper numbers like, I think 8 to 10 numbers long. Though that's where the mindset shifted. Remember, we have to remember the beeper numbers. We didn't have a contact list in our beepers, so it was just numbers. We had to remember whose number it was, and when they beep us numbers to call back.
This reminds me of another thing. I might have been talking about this on this show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember who I was talking about this with recently, but I think the advent of technology giving us access to instant information has conditioned us to know less offhand because we have quick access to stuff.
Yeah.
So we feel like we need to know less because we can just look it up instantly.
Yeah.
Whereas before, you had to go on a little bit of a mission to figure something out. And so you retained that.
Mm-hmm.
The work you put in to know something, you had to retain it and use it regularly.
Yeah, because I was thinking, you go to
and I think, sorry,
no, go ahead.
cut you off, but that not needing to have information in our brain at all times on hand has made us kind of informationally lazy.
Yeah, but you gotta understand though, where you lack something, you pick something else up, and not being able to I'm saying putting valuable information in our brain.
No, me too.
Because like with substance, like right now, we're filling our mind with IG, the stuff we see, memes, all that stuff. That's just feeding you all kinds of stuff. And it's coming from around the world.
Yep.
Because back in the day, it was just us in the hood we lived in.
People less and less seem to know how to figure things out on their own.
Problem solving.
Right. Knowing how to, because all our problems are solved already.
Google.
All our main problems are solved already.
Google.
So we don't have to figure out how to solve our problems.
Yeah. So
The only problems we solve are the ones that are like specific or unique to us that have interest in we have interest in for whatever reason. I feel like.
Yeah, man. For you guys that just got on, we were talking about the different generations, what made them good, what made them bad, and where we heading moving forward.
I feel like people don't even know how to Google stuff even anymore. Because I don't want to talk too much shit because this is a friend of mine. But here's an example.
Talk your shit.
My friend, he spent couple years ago, he spent a bunch of money on building a PC.
Okay.
Bought all the parts and everything. Had a friend help him put it together because it was his first time doing it. So had a friend help him. Well, a couple years down the line, he's having some computer problems, and he takes the whole thing apart and doesn't know how to put it back together. And he leaves it out for like weeks because he can't even like figure out how to figure it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's like stalled on just that, which I feel like is such an easy thing that if you really wanted to put your mind to it, you could figure it out. It's not that hard. But just not knowing how to figure something out is like an issue with a lot of younger people.
Not knowing how to figure something.
Not knowing how to put your brain to work to problem solve. Like literally not knowing how to problem solve. Critical thinking.
Because all they think about is a computer. They have to have something to give them the answer automatically.
Right.
They won't take the time to do research.
like with Google, like Google will give you answers.
But sometimes it'll be wrong.
But you have to know how to find correct information.
Yes. Agreed.
And if you don't know how to properly use the internet, like using keywords just to find information you're looking for and then sparse out what's real and what's fake, and then like do the digging and reading you need to do, looking in the right places, like that's in and of itself is a skill that I feel like 10 years ago was like becoming a commonplace, and now we're like regressing. It's weird because it's another friend of mine who I will also not name.
Damn, dog, you just okay. Go ahead.
Anytime he Googles something, it bothers me a little bit. It ticks me off a little bit, and it's maybe it shouldn't bother me, but it does. But anytime he Googles something, he types in like the most detailed, long query that is so unnecessary.
Example.
That's so specific. I can't like. You know how usually you just type in a couple of keywords to find what you're looking for, right? Well, he'll type in like a whole sentence.
Oh man!
And it's like I don't understand why you do that because you're gonna find stuff that doesn't correlate with what you're looking for.
Like Google,
you're getting in your own way.
Like Google, could you tell me where the nearest Starbucks is within 10 miles of where I live at?
Yeah, like something like that, or like, I mean that's a pretty good example right there. Yeah. Instead of just typing, what was the place you said?
Starbucks.
Instead of just typing Starbucks near me.
Yeah.
You can just type that, and it'll give you what you need.
He wouldn't have a relationship with Google,
right?
That's what it is.
Or like he'll Google. I'm trying to make up an example that is realistic to what he would type. Like, I can't think of one, man. But I've seen it happen so many different times.
Oh my god!
And it just bugs me. Because I feel like I'm good at looking stuff up like that.
But sometimes you got to put in like different searches, and a lot of times
I also don't trust Google. I don't use Google.
Yeah, that's what I was about to tell you that. So a lot of times I like when people Google other people, and they're like, "No, I got this." I said, "That's why you don't just Google people. We got different databases that we use to do our searches. If it was that easy,
I use DuckDuckGo,
what is that?
another search engine,
Hmm.
or I use Brave Search.
Okay. See, you'll hear that, right? You're getting nothing but free game from Devin right now on what to use,
I use Bing for images,
bro.
specifically for images, because it's really good for like when I'm editing stuff or looking for art or whatever to put into. Anytime I'm looking for art to steal,
Dude,
for whatever reason, Bing images is good for that.
in like the old cats, I think one of the disconnects is like you're right. Technology came through so fast that even me sometimes I struggle. Like half of that shit you just said was foreign language to me on a computer. So where the hell do y'all get all those? How did you learn about those things? Where do you go and find out about the new search engines? Oh, you know what I mean? The new software. Like I said, it's crazy, man. And I'm around people all the time. I'm sitting here like, how the fuck y'all niggas get it? Where you niggas going to get all this shit at?
I think if you have an interest in something, you will naturally find your way into learning more about it.
Yeah, but when you're being pushed into it, because now shit, I don't give a fuck if you're 90 years old, you need a damn computer.
Yeah.
You know, I think we should do shit like making workshop. Jimmy Washington, how you doing, man? We're talking about the transitions between eras with our youth and where we came from and where we going with it. If you have anything you want to add on, just chime in.
Generational differences.
Chime in. I think it should be a workshop where the old school teaches the new school new things. The new school teaches the old school new things. There's still new things at the end of the day on both sides.
Absolutely.
We're still learning new things, you know? To us, it's just like I see some of this shit. I'm like, half of the shit you do. Like, everything you just said,
yeah,
sounded to me like wah 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 wah.
Like Peanuts.
Yeah,
Mom and Dad, like the teachers.
But then you find a way to make sense out of that shit, man. I'm like, damn, like you 23. You know what I mean? I'm almost probably double time your age, and I haven't. I'm supposed to quote be the OG. You can't tap into that shit. I'm supposed to be telling you what search engine to be going to. But the younger generation, in that sense, technology-wise, y'all are so fucking smart, so far advanced. That's what makes the older guys and the cats before y'all feel like they're being left in the dust.
Well, I think I theorize, and I could be wrong because time will tell. But I think my generation, like I was saying earlier, the older you get, the more comfortable staying in your ways you become most of the time, right? But I'm young, my generation is young, technology moves fast, we're able to adapt to that change quicker. So I think that as my generation gets older, eventually there's going to come a time where we stop and slow down and get comfortable and stop learning things too, and then the generation that comes next will do the same thing that we've been doing to y'all. I think it's a cycle that always happens.
But y'all keeping up. Y'all keeping up fucking pretty quick. Bro.
But I think what may prove me wrong, and again, time will tell, don't know, is because of our generation being among the first to experience stuff like the internet in its state the way it is right now, and smartphones and technology the way it is rapidly developing, maybe we will stay in touch for longer into our lives.
I think you guys will.
I don't know.
I think you guys
and maybe the next generation will do the same thing. They'll stay in touch for longer and later.
Can you imagine, dog? Y'all, the way you guys are now, in the next generation? Oh my God. That's scary, bro.
It is.
That's scary. And the kids getting smarter and smarter. Like, I see more kids that are 12, 13. I know this kid, I was just reading about him last week.
Smarter, but socially dumber
He's
for a lot
about
of people.
yeah, because he's about to get, I think his 13th bachelor's degree at 13.
Wow.
Yeah, but his parents say that's all he do. It's the books online, the books online. You
And
put
that's
him,
awesome, but I
you
hope
you you put him at that's exactly. You put him at the park around a bunch of kids. That's where he can't move.
right.
That's where he can't move.
And that may become a problem for him
That's
at
gonna
some
be a big
point.
problem. It's gonna be a big problem because I was discussing private school versus um private school versus
Public.
public.
I've done both.
You know, which one did you benefit from the most?
Actually, I don't know if I could say one over the other. I benefit from each for different reasons.
Okay, we can name them.
I think there were emotional and spiritual developments that
Mhm.
I acquired from private school,
Mm-hmm.
and also social.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there were different social things that I learned from public school.
Mm-hmm.
Because like private school, I went to specifically a Christian private school, a couple of
Okay.
different ones,
Okay.
and you get exposed to more ideas,
Mm-hmm.
I think, in a sense of like, how do I put it? Like, you get exposed to things a little bit differently.
Okay.
And I think the discipline from people above you
Mm-hmm.
is a bit more, has a bit more weight to it also, because they take it more serious
Okay.
a lot of times. And what else? I think in public school, it also depends on the specific schools you go to. I think
Mm-hmm.
because in my case, the public school that I went to had a lot more money than the private school I went to. The
Mm-hmm.
private schools I went to were pretty broke,
Mm,
or not broke. Well, one of them was pretty broke.
Uh-huh.
The other one was decent, but
Mhm.
not wealthy or
Mhm.
anything. They weren't not publicly funded
Mhm.
at all. Obviously, because private,
Yeah,
but they were not. They were okay, but they were not
but they lacked a few investors.
right.
Okay.
The public school I went to was pretty good, financially.
Mm-hmm.
Partially because I think it was a big school with well performing students,
Mm-hmm.
so that you get I think you get extra funding from that. So for example, I never got actual hands on experience with a camera, with editing, with equipment that I'm interested in until high school.
Okay.
Because my high school had the resources to do that stuff.
Okay.
Private schools I went to did not.
Okay. Did you go to high school in private school or elementary school in private school?
I went to private school
Mhm.
for elementary and middle school, and then public was for high school.
Okay. So out of
And
both,
that's another. Here's another thing with that
mm-hmm.
is I feel like I was socially underdeveloped
Mm.
when I started high school, and
Mm-hmm.
that public school has a different, because it's public and it's a lot more variety of types of people,
Mm-hmm.
and ideas and things. And it's more secular. It's
Mhm.
more worldly, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It that leveled me out and made me learn a lot more about social dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in private school, I don't want to say that I was completely socially inept, but it was a different dynamic
Mm-hmm.
where your focus is different.
Right.
And if I sat down and thought about it for a while, I could put it into words better. But because there is stuff that I got out of private school that is valuable,
Right.
that is different, that I would not have got from public school. But I'm having trouble right now articulating.
Okay. Um,
Also, I think it makes a difference that I was homeschooled before that.
Jeez, you went through all three phases,
I
dog.
did. I did.
Shit.
I was homeschooled. 3rd grade was my first time in actual school.
Huh? Now, how was homeschooling?
That was with my grandma. It
Yeah.
was good. I mean, I don't remember that much of it. It was I was tiny.
Yes,
I
okay.
I only remember a little bit of it, but I felt like it kind of put me ahead a little bit because when I started school,
See,
I was a little bit ahead of people.
and that's what I wanted to ask you. The private school academically put you in a good space.
Yes, it can.
Okay. It said, oh, hold on. Shin said, private school is more etiquette. Private school is more exposed. That's true too.
It's more what etiquette?
It's more etiquette to private school.
Yes,
More etiquette to the private
there's
school.
there's more like structure.
Yeah, but
So and like you know, there's the whole thing about like uniforms.
mm-hmm.
You're wearing uniforms. There's etiquette, like she says, etiquette.
Mm-hmm.
She. There's etiquette to it. There's a way that you're expected to behave.
Right.
There's a way that they're teaching you to behave, especially in a like a religious private
Right.
school, especially in that case.
Mm-hmm.
There's biblical teaching that goes into it. There's a lot. They're more
Spiritually in tune.
more spiritually oriented. I don't want to say in tune, but oriented.
Okay. Now, did private go to? I say I never went to private school. I always went to public schools, and I never thought about it because people ask me all the time, why don't you send your kids to private school? And my answer is, like, I can teach my kids religion at home.
Yeah.
I can teach my kids etiquettes at home. Like, if you doing it and you're a parent, you do your part at home. But when I send them to public schools, like you said, it levels you out because the variety is the variety is there.
I feel like if I went to only public school, I would have been maybe socially okay, but I don't feel like I would be a critical thinker or as much of a well-rounded person, if that makes sense.
Because if you,
I think for me in particular, I think having both experiences is what kind of sculpted me.
Yeah.
And if I did only private school for my entire life, I feel like I would have probably been equally as book smart, but I would have been
social because
I would have been lacking in social
because
skills.
because the thing is, I like it because you get to the football games, the basketball games, you meet other kids, you talk, and my thing is, if you're gonna be smart, you're gonna be smart. It doesn't matter. I don't think that because I went to school with guys that is like geniuses that went to public schools. It's like I said, it's the home raising part of it, and your parents staying on top of you. I think you could probably get the same education, but be well rounded on the street level, and the academic level, and the sports level, where you're not. The reason I don't like private schools, I don't really do, is because they confine you in the space, and they drill you at what they believe is the truth, their truth. My bad. It's what it is. And then
I think public schools can also do that, though.
no, they do that, but guess what? The public schools, you can virtue outside of that. You can engage with different kids in different schools through sports, through all that. You have more room, more branches to reach out to in the public school. Like when I went to public schools, most of the shit they said that was lies. Yet I found out through other kids that was doing other things, like the 5%ers and all them other guys. That's like, hey, bro, you need to read about your history. Like if you go to an all white Christian school, they're gonna teach you about the Bible, their versions. They're gonna teach you about their history. Then you're gonna be locked in that box. In public schools, there's no lock in the box. You
My private school was like mostly black.
See,
I think.
you go to school and boom, you interact with different styles, different kids from different cultures, Chinese, all different from different places that's gonna share stuff with you. And I don't have a problem with bullies because guess what? The world ain't perfect, bro. So you're gonna have to know how to deal with bullies. You're gonna have to know how to deal with people in real time. And question, okay, here's the question I got for you. You went to private school. You went to public schools. Today, the friends you have now, do you have more friends that you've met while you was going to the public schools or the private schools?
Private.
Yeah.
More friends that I've retained.
Yeah.
I don't talk to anybody from public school.
You don't talk to anybody from public. What school did you go to out here?
I didn't go to school here. I went to school in Daytona for high school.
Daytona, that's why.
Well, I also spent like a semester doing dual enrollment at IRSC.
Mm-hmm.
But then I went back and finished high school there in Daytona.
So you saying the whole 30,000 people you walk with out here, not one of them went to public school with you?
No.
All of them went to private school with you?
All of who? Wait, what?
Like everybody you associate with out here?
No. A lot of people in my friend circle I didn't go to school with at all.
Okay.
But of the people that I made friends with through school, the only ones that I've retained are a couple from middle school, from private school. It's one of my best friends, Jillian. Shout out Jillian.
Mm-hmm. Jillian, what's up?
That's it. She lives in Tampa.
Okay.
I met her when I was in 7th grade. And a few other, a small circle of friends that I met out there. My friend Hunter, friend Michael, my friend Riley.
How come every public school you go to, there's a Hunter?
That was private school.
That's what I'm saying. Every public school you go to, there's a Hunter. I go to that school.
I don't know. But now looking back to public school, I don't talk to or associate or know a single person that I used to hang out with from public school from there.
Not one.
Nope.
No. But you said you was more socially engaged in public school.
I was.
So you had to make some relationships, bro.
I did.
Mm-hmm. You just left the school and just like fuck it.
Yeah, I'm partially, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I don't see someone on a regular basis. Well, here's the thing. I also grew up with having an easy time letting people go.
What do you think that is, Devin? Let me talk to you. What's going on?
I know why that is. It's because I chalk it up to the fact that I had a single mom who dated throughout my life, and so people come and go.
And that was topics I wanted to get into too. That's crazy. You brought that up. I wanted to talk about like in the last hour, the date, like single parents, because I came from a single parent family. My mom was the one that was doing everything for us and whatnot. Just to see where we'll talk about that last time. Yeah, damn, I should have texted that to you. Maybe I shouldn't have texted to you because you just went right on schedule. So that's why you didn't. You just so used to people coming and going. So you just it's easy to detach yourself.
It's not hard for me to detach from somebody unless they've made significant, long-lasting impact. And there's only a few. Like, okay, so of my handful of friends that I retained from middle school that I mentioned, that from private school, only one of those do I talk to on a regular basis. The rest of them are still, I would still call them friends, but I don't interact or talk to them regularly. Like, I still fuck with them.
Okay,
And if I'm visiting the area, I would still hang out with them.
Shin's got attending a private school can be expensive
Very.
and or especially for the family, while public schools funded by the state or local federal governments. That's true. She's 100% right. She's 100% right. But it's just like me going through graduations after graduations and seeing the caliber of academically smart kids that comes out of the public schools and the degrees they walk out the schools with. That it makes me feel like I don't know. But like you said, private schools got there. It's like being in China. You go to school a little more, you learn a little more, but that social handicap that comes with that shit. Yo. Do you think it's worth it to pay for your kids to go to public school? What would you
I
do
don't
if you
know.
had a child? Would you choose public, home? Because I got to keep home, man. Public, home, or private?
I would like to say home
Yeah.
because I think public school is getting more and more, becoming more and more of a tool of the state to control and
It feels
and
like a prison, don't it?
not a prison, but a brainwashing camp. I think it's not all of them because I'm not saying every single public school in the country,
Right.
but
I understand exactly where you're coming from.
I think the more that the state gets their hands into every single thing that they do, it becomes more and more of they're not teaching this kid to actually be an individual,
yes,
critical thinker. They're teaching them to be a factory worker.
Yeah,
They're teaching them to fall in line with what
society
deems reasonable. And I think I was exposed to that a little bit in public school. I thankfully don't feel like it. I feel like it exposed me to new ideas, but it didn't. I had enough wherewithal to not slip into like following the crowd.
I think both. I think both is the same. But educational wise, public school and private school, I think to a certain degree, they both because public school will teach you the agenda they want to teach you.
Right.
Private school, same thing they do.
Absolutely.
This curriculum is this. We're going to teach you about this. We're going to make it more Bible based, more religious based.
Absolutely.
Because I can't say spiritual. I'm going to say religious because it's pretty much whatever school you go to, whatever religion.
And that's why I chose the homeschooling.
Yeah.
Because I don't think either.
The difference with public school that I like is the fact that when I went to school, I didn't learn. I can't say I left because by the time I left school at a young age, I pretty much figured it was bullshit anyway. It was like, okay, cool. This stuff, like you got me over here thinking Christopher Columbus discovered America.
Yeah.
I'm not learning about the inventions that my black people invented out here. You're not telling us that the slaves pretty much built this country, which is the truth. Give us the truth, and then we'll respect everything else that comes with it. But if you're gonna build our foundation, our people, as people, black and white, on lies, you know what I mean? I remember going to the Constitution, the library of the Constitution, the museum. I don't let you take pictures because everybody, when you ask people why they don't let you take pictures, because they're like, half of that shit is a lie because they don't want you to do research on it. If it's yours and it's your Constitution, why you can't take pictures of it? But it's just that.
I mean, you can look it up at home, couldn't you?
I know you can, but when you're in a place that's built for you,
yeah,
you can go to the hip hop museum right now and take pictures of everything and take videos next to Jay-Z, next to the Nas, next to everybody. You can go to a dinosaur museum and take a whole bunch of pictures and do all that. It's cool. But when you go into the library of the Constitution, you can't take pictures. It's that moving the goalpost shit that frustrates me about public schools. You know, Shin said you get more discipline out of private schools. Is that true?
You know, I would probably say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, because of like etiquette and
Yeah.
uniforms.
Okay.
And
What was the difference in discipline between private and public? Yeah, Shane. What was the difference between the two? If you get more discipline. Because I would say if you do something wrong, they call your parents. They don't hit you or nothing. Public schools, if you do something wrong, they call your parents.
I feel like I got away with shit way more in public school than I did in private.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of specific examples rather than just being general. But the easy low hanging fruit would be you have to wear uniforms. You have to fit a certain look. And that's more than just the clothing. There's like the haircuts. You have to have like clean cut hair.
It's like it's your way, huh?
There's a whole thing. Yeah. Now, I don't know if this applies to high school exactly because we were.
No, high school, they started wearing uniforms.
Well, no, I'm saying the next thing I'm going to say.
Okay.
Because like we had to like walk in line to places. That's more of a young. That's more of an elementary.
Yeah, they used to do
School
that
type
in
of
public
thing.
schools too. Walk in line. They got away from the lines once we got to like 6th, 7th grade to the middle school. About to go to high school. Then you start doing different classes. But same thing applied in private schools. If you're going that young, we always have to walk in lines.
So I'm trying to think. So there's also the teachers and whatnot, the staff definitely hold you to a higher standard. And just in general, discipline is required to maintain a standard like that.
That's what I'm trying to get. What kind of discipline? Because they have like, I'm just playing devil's advocate for a minute. Yeah, public schools have the same damn thing. Like all your teachers, it's just the type of kid you were. All your teachers held you to a different standards. Like my 6th grade teacher, even though she was like sanitary,
I feel like the vibe that I got from teachers from private to public was very different. Where in private school, I feel like 99% of the staff and teachers wanted to be there beyond it's just a job. And they really cared. Like maybe their intention, whether their methods worked or not, I still got the vibe that they cared. Whereas with public school, it was more like 50%. There was like a handful of teachers that were really excited and cared about what they were doing. And a lot of at least half of them did not give a damn and was just there because it's either because it's their job and they just make some money, or it's their field of expertise, so it's the only work they can find, you know?
Okay. Tinker said she thinks private school teaches morals and public schools,
Yeah.
well, y'all gonna start bashing my public schools, dog.
I would agree to a certain extent with that, but it kind of depends on what set of morals you care about.
But don't
Do you care about Christian morals?
Isn't your parents supposed to teach about morals though?
I think so.
Exactly.
So it depends on, well, if your parents want you to learn Christian morals and stuff like that, private Christian school makes sense. If they don't want to teach you that, then public school makes sense. And they can teach you whatever it is they want to teach you. You know what I mean? It really depends on the particular family and the particular school. It's, each one is going to be a little bit different.
Let me see. Shen said that she went to a Catholic school where, don't get that comment up so I can read the whole thing. She went to a Catholic school where she went to church. So she went to church and school in the same building. When she went to public school, she can get away with anything than the private school. So they got away with more shit in public school than they did in private school.
Right.
Because it's smaller. You know what I mean?
You know everybody.
Yeah.
In private school, you generally, it's smaller, so you know everybody.
Yeah,
Public school, my private school I went to had the two of them that I went to, because I went to one here for elementary in PSL. It was Treasure Coast Christian Academy.
But okay, no lie.
It was right over by the Bet Stadium.
No lie. Grown up in public school your whole life, right?
Private.
Private school your whole life. You went to private school. Don't you have... Yeah, she got beat by a ruler. Holy shit.
Yeah, they used to be more brutal.
Get out of here. They used to put your hands on you.
They didn't do that to me because I think around my generation, they stopped doing stuff like that. But like I have stories from my mom about crazy shit that they would do in private schools.
No, that's why Shane got PTSD. Oh, I'm sorry. They have, but that's what I'm saying though. Growing up in that structure with public school, right? With that kind of discipline, most of them kids become rebels, dog. When they get out and they really experience the social aspect, don't that kind of like, is it kind of like a culture shock to them?
I think a little bit. I think it depends. I think it's person to person, but I think, yes, it can cause that. Just in the same way that when you have tyrannical, overly strict parents, the kid turns out that way too. They turn out, wanting rebellious, or at least at a minimum, they usually have a rebellious phase, where they want to go and do every single thing that their parents tell them not to do, because they want to. People are naturally curious. They want to figure out what life's all about.
Yeah.
So I feel like, I don't want to say that they all turn out that way, but I definitely think the more like strict you are, the more likely you are to kind of push people away, unless they are the type of person that accepts that they're a follower. You know what I mean?
Nah, man, that's crazy though.
Because I would say most of the people that I know from private school, they grew up Christian, and then once they got older, they don't follow that stuff at all.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like being in the Bonds world, when the half of the cats that's like actually out here, the thing is, there's. I always say sometimes you meet people that are so smart they're stupid. You know what I mean? Their intelligence get them everywhere, but then when you catch them outside, really outside after they graduate, all that, they're the ones that depends on the drugs a little more than the regular people to be able to cope with the culture around them, because now they don't have that structure in the private schools. They just let them out here like wolves in the real world. Like you're dealing with street guys that can outsmart them in no time. And I tell people that shit all the time. Like, yeah, you book smart, but there's something different about these street smart guys out here. They're different animals. They'll eat you up and chew you out. Send you packing with your books. I promise you. They're the ones that become junkies. You know what I mean? Because after school, they don't know. He said my dad would have shut that school down. Shit, he could crazy. Yeah, man. But shit, talking about spanking you with the rulers and that, I do.
No, I would have fought,
bro.
if they did that to me.
Let me tell you something, man. I got kicked out of motherfucking ROTC. Like, this fucking match doesn't figure in my face. I was not having that. I had that kind of issue with authority.
I don't have an issue with authority. I have an issue with authority when they overstep. You know what I mean?
Nah, that's why I have to keep my own, man, because I already got time for anybody to come and talk to me, where they want to, and think they're going to get away with it. We're just not going to do that.
I am okay with authority when they deserve it.
You know what I mean?
When they deserve it and they're communicative and respectful, etc. But when you're just a tyrant, telling people what to do, and you don't make sense, and you're going over like OD, and you're overstepping shit and doing shit just maliciously just because you can, that's when it's a problem, and I will call it out.
Okay. So Shamika and Shen and everybody else watching, what would you do? Private school, public school, or homeschool?
I have to change my answer slightly from earlier
Oh yeah.
because
All
I
right.
because I
We got a
think
recant over here. Devin is a recant his answer. Go ahead.
because I think I would probably start out homeschool
Mm-hmm.
the way like I was with my grandma,
Mm-hmm.
but I think at a certain age, and I think it will depend on the way my kid is. I don't know. I'm not going to say now
Mm-hmm.
predetermine what age that is because I think it depends on where they are mentally and emotionally. I would probably give them a choice and let them try out one or the other and see which one they prefer
Damn,
and
Shen.
which
That
one
was
works better for
that,
our family routine.
that was straight abuse, Shen. So you saying public?
No, I'd say I'd give them the choice to. I'd let them try out both and see.
Yeah.
I would try to. I would say I would start out with the homeschooling,
Mm-hmm.
and when they get to a certain age where I feel that they are mentally and emotionally developed enough to give it both either one a try, I
Mhm.
would say, okay, let's try a year at this school nearby at the local public school, whatever, and then if they like it and it works for our family, for our routine, and for our morals and etc.,
Mhm.
then I'd let them stay.
You
Especially if they develop like a healthy friend group.
know. Uh-huh.
If that doesn't work, then I'll let them give a shot at a private school.
Jamaica.
And if neither of those work, then we just go back to homeschool. But I think having a social circle at that early age is really important.
Very important.
And so I don't want to shake them around too many times
Yeah. Okay. See, I was gonna bring that up
because
too.
I experienced that.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up too. Shamika said, "I put my son in. I would put my son in. I put my son in private school because it has a different curriculum. See, with me, what I love, like I got a 13-year-old.
I'd like to hear from them what is different about the curriculum that they like.
Man, my thing is, just like us, we don't get choices, man. They move us around and do what they want to do with us. My thing is, I want to give her the best because I don't want to have her exposed to a small group. I mean, keeping her in public schools is what's helping me. It you do your job as a parent. I'm not a lazy parent. Like I'm not gonna be the one to sit there and be like, I'm not gonna talk to my kids. I'm gonna do this, that, and other. If I don't mind public school, the reason I don't want to do private school, me personally, is because I want to be able to talk to my kids. I want to be able to talk to the teachers. I think with that, and then I want them to actually experience being around other kids like mine, and not structured to like Sharon's saying. She would definitely do private school, but I'm not gonna have my kids. I'm not gonna have no teacher put their hands on my kids. I'm not gonna have no teacher put my kid outside and discipline them on some BS like that.
Right.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
think that's overstepping.
That's overstepping. You don't do like just like I don't want nobody touching me. I'm not having nobody touching them because I don't touch them. So I'm not going to give anything or anyone permission to be able to put their hands on my damn kids in the first place. Public schools, they could go out
I'll tell my kid to kick him in the shin and run away.
all day. And I teach them how to do it properly.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do that.
Defend yourself.
Because the thing is, my daughter's 13. She now has a network of kids. Yeah, but Shamika, you can still teach your kids how to write cursive. Right? Sometimes we gotta do our part. You know what I mean? Like she has a network of kids that she goes to the football games, and I see her interacting with kids. They on social media together. They have that freedom to build a network because once, especially if, like you said, not jumping around with her going through kindergarten all the way up to next year freshman in the same school. Geez, them kids they all seen each other with snot nose. Now they grow to be eighth grade, graduate together, go to high school together.
They all seen each other with acne.
Yeah.
They all seen each other
They
with
sit through the
boyfriends and
growth phase.
girlfriends.
Exactly.
They all seen each other, everything.
In
Yeah.
everything. So by the time
And they all learn from it.
Yeah, and by the time she graduates, me, I'm the type of parent, I want my kid to graduate with her own business. Forget school, going to college and all that shit. If you don't feel like going to college, you don't got to. That's your choice. But if you tell dad, I want to start my own business, guess what? You just built all your clientele right there. You know what I'm saying? So me, I would I would say I would say um regular public schools versus private schools. The only reason I would say that is if you're gonna be that kind of parent. You see, the parenting part of it to me is what's gonna drive it. It's what's gonna drive it. Let me see what Tanker said. Tanker said, James, that's the nun in the Catholic private school. Oh shit. That was a long time ago. I don't think they do that anymore. They should have done that in the first place. Shit. The point is school is to I got bullied in public schools. That's but guess what? Being bullied is part of the game. Nobody in real life is going not everybody in real life is gonna be nice to you. That's why I don't mind my kids going through a bullying phase in school. That way I can coach them through that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, baby, this
They
is
gotta
going to
learn.
happen. They're going to learn. You can't. You can't. You grown now. We grown adults, and sometimes we go to people try to bully us all the time as adults. So if we didn't deal with it as a kid, I'm not going to shelter my. I don't want to shelter my kids from real life shit that's going to happen. Man, we grown. We see what's happening in the real world, and the last thing I want to do is make pretend bullying don't exist. I don't want my kid to be like when she's out of school, she's like coming home crying as a grown ass woman talking about I'm being bullied. No, we deal with that and fucking face that when you young. Nah, no, chill. I got bullied too. I was had a Haitian accent. Do you know how it was growing up north? We was bullied all the time just from being Haitians. So shit.
I can't even imagine you with a Haitian accent.
Yeah, bro. Cause when you young, you come in here young as shit, man. You got your moms and them talking Creole. You trying to learn how to speak English. That accent was strong, so you can't escape bullying. You can't escape bullying. That's something that comes to the territory, and it's better to deal with it as a kid than to deal with it when you get older, because you get sensitive to everything. That's why, to me, it's a waste of money to go to private school. Because if you're a parent, your children will learn and they will go to where they got to go. If I have to pick two, I pick, like you said, Devin. I pick the homeschool and I pick public school all day long. They just got to be that kind of parent. I love watching them interact with each other. I love seeing that interaction. I love being able to go to the school and talk to the principal. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, Becky, I see you. But I love being able to watch them interact with the other kids and build. And they don't even like as a parent. I sit back and I watch the kids. And I'm like, they don't even know what they're building right now. 10 years from now, when they're 23 years old, that's when they're gonna realize, wow, all of y'all is helping me become a millionaire. I look at my child. I'm sitting there like, dude, those are gonna help you put that money in your pocket. Those are your future investors. Those are the people you build a relationship right now. Right now. You don't even know it. It's like back in the Bronx where they had the Lions Den, where you see all these rappers, like for art's sake. Even you with the group that you're in, you don't know how many millionaires you sit next to. How many motherfuckers is about to pop in this industry, even including yourself.
I know a few that are, I
You know what
think
I
are
mean?
gonna pop off.
You don't know, and plus even with you with your music and what you're doing, next thing by next year, Devin might be like, Jay, I'm gonna open up my own studio, man. I just sold like 3 beats now. All my beats are like 150,000 a piece. You know? Yesterday's price ain't today's price, Jay. So, but you don't know, Dev. Shit happens quick. Shit happens quick. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, let me see what Shamika said. Sharon said she was Becky with the gold hair. Oh, by the black girls. Oh, Sharon, God bless you. And Shamika said, I think the difference is the school and how it's ran. It doesn't matter if it's public school, no matter if it's public school or not. I think the difference is, to be honest with you, dog, the biggest component with the schools, it's the parenting. I don't think it's the matter of the school. I think it comes down to the parenting and the parent. The last, I'm telling you, is in my experience, that's what it came down to. Came down to your communication with your kids in the school. Okay, I don't think because like I said, you go to public schools and private schools, go to the graduations, and you see what these kids are graduating with and what they're doing when it comes to discipline. It all comes from the home. It starts at the home. If my kid want to learn how to write cursive, I can teach him how to write cursive because I know how to write cursive. So I don't know. I think we got to do a part at the crib. That's just me.
I was taught cursive.
Mm-hmm.
I was taught cursive
You see, Devin was taught cursive.
in private school
Yeah.
in 3rd grade.
Shen said school is school. I can see her 2 fingers now. Just listen. School is school, James.
I
Just
never
say Negro.
I never used cursive though.
You never use cursive? I love cursive.
Not really. I mean, I went through a little phase where I used it all the time when I for some reason, just because I guess I was one of the only people who could do it well. Like in middle school, I did it a lot, but nowadays I'm faster. My normal handwriting. I also write a little weird too because partially maybe because of homeschooling, it conditioned my writing to be a little unorthodox. Like, a lot of times you're taught to, when you start writing a letter, not a letter that you mail, but the individual letters. Usually you start at the top, right?
Right.
And draw down. I start the other way. I start at the bottom, draw up.
Bro, I'm dyslexic, bro. I can go.
Well, the way that I write has changed so much. It's not the way normal people are taught to write. But my writing is that way is faster than if I were to do cursive.
See, sometimes I go into cursive, and then I do a little like cursive, and then print a couple of those, and then sometimes I switch in and out.
I wish I could show how I write, like on camera, but I can't really.
Well, you got an iPhone, right?
Yeah, I don't really have a way to show that screen though.
No, I'm just saying. Right, I know me. You got an iPhone. I got an Android with a pen. I could just.
I could do that too, but I don't have a way to show it on screen. Is what I'm saying.
So we got to get you to write a letter, confession letter.
Yeah, right.
And put it up there. That's what I'm talking about, man. But I don't know. I take the public school all day. Take the public school all day, man. All day though. I don't think it's like.
I almost feel like the way I went through it might be the best way. But I could be wrong. I don't really know.
No. It's like, okay, for example, I'm going to use Tinker. When you got these little kids that are geniuses, man, I don't care what kind of parent you are, they're going to gravitate towards that damn book, and their mind is going to open up. Like, her son, I'm not getting no iPhone, Shane. I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead and stick with my Android. Y'all be stealing from Samsung anyway. It's all right. But
it's okay. As long as we got clear pictures.
Exactly. Yeah. And we got better cameras, whatever. Oh, my bad. It's about to be a beef over here. Look, Devin's about to come in the paint right now.
I'm gonna just drop it.
Devin's about to get in the paint right now. We're about to have a cell phone debate in a few minutes. Keep playing.
Nah, not really.
Keep playing.
I'm gonna just let it go,
man. Like Shamika's son, the kid is a damn genius. You know what I mean? Like, he's smart as shit. Just on his own. Like, you know what I mean? His mom got a lot to do with it because she supports him and everything he does and everything. But the kids are smart. It's like who could pick up a paintbrush and get on the canvas and just draw your face naturally. Like, certain gifts we have already. I think everybody come with a superhero power.
Another factor I think that plays into education that we don't really consider.
Yeah.
is, and I didn't even think about it in my case until just now.
Mm-hmm.
I had, for most of my entire life growing up, except for a couple of chunks of time,
Mm-hmm.
completely open, unfettered, unsupervised access to the internet.
Yeah.
And
Nisha, what up, sis?
that starts to shape a person.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we generally think about that as being a component in education,
Mm-hmm.
because internet access could be a good and bad thing. It's a tool. You can learn a lot from it, just like we were talking about earlier.
Yep.
You can learn a lot from it, but it can also corrupt you.
Yeah.
It can also teach you a lot of bad things.
Teach you a lot of bad
It
things.
can also make you, and I think the internet contributes to people's social problems.
And mental state.
Yes.
You think so?
Well, I think the mental state comes from the lack of social skills
Yeah.
because of not being able to connect with people properly, because you're looking at a screen and you're interacting with people through text.
To text it, but the thing is though, nowadays, back in our days where you would feel a certain type of way about a certain, like a certain quirk you have, and nobody around you feel the same way. But nowadays on the internet, there's a group for everybody and everything.
Which I think that part is good.
That part is good, but the same thing applies. If you're a person that thinks every man in this world is an ant that needs to be killed, you're gonna find a group of a bunch of people that thinks every man in the world is an ant that needs to be killed, and you guys are gonna come up with a way to kill every ant in the world.
Right.
That's the scary part about what we have today,
And those are the people that the internet has enabled people to live in bubbles even more than they already did.
Mm-hmm. So everybody's got the matrix complex.
Because before the internet, your bubble was your environment, the people around you in real life.
Exactly.
And that can influence you one way or another.
Yeah.
But now, internet access, connection to other people, social media, now you can almost exit that bubble and put yourself in a different bubble that, again, is not, I don't want to bash it completely, but it's not always a good thing.
No.
People should be exposed to diversity of ideas.
No doubt. I appreciate that, man. Hold on. What Shamika say? Shamika said, I had a time in the public school in kindergarten through the first grade. I didn't like the curriculum. It seemed too behind. They taught me more sight words rather than how the word is formed. To have a group that means once a week to go running. So
What happened?
I just read 2 comments. She said she have a group where they meet once a week to go running.
That's good.
Good cardiovascular.
And it's a social group.
Yeah, true. That's healthy. I like old school shit, man. Yoga, running outside, playing football outside. All the stuff I don't see often anymore is what I actually miss. Instead, you could have, like, seriously, Dad, can my homegirl come over? Oh, can I go for my homegirl's house? Yeah, sure, no problem. Both of them sit in the same room. I'm like, hey, this 3, they just sitting there on each of them on their phones.
Yeah.
FaceTiming their friends.
Yeah.
And nobody says, and then when they leave, y'all had a great time. I see you later. What? Devin, where they do that at, bro?
I don't know.
That's like,
Wild.
get the hell out of here. That's just it. That's what we're doing now. Just like, that's gas. Gas was $4, bro. Y'all could have stayed home and did that shit at the house.
Right.
Gets a little expensive out here, man. That's crazy. But and on the flip side, I think the best way to fix it is start doing that outside activities again, man. Like you go out there now, I don't see the basketball courts full. It'd be a couple of guys that's balling, and and another thing, it's the county because it's the city you live in too. Because back in the day, we used to play basketball. We used to go to different schools. They got the courts outside. We used to play basketball. Now they gate all them shits up. They don't allow us to play. They don't allow the kids to play outside anymore.
Mm.
They don't. I remember my son had they had a basketball court outside, like around the corner from the house, and he started going out there to play. Then his friends started coming over to play. Then I started going out there with my cousins to play. And one day we went out there to play ball. They came out and took the whole court down. They took it down and left with it.
Wait, while you were playing?
No.
Or before you got there?
But yeah, before we got
Oh,
there.
okay. I
It's
thought
like,
the way you said it made me think they pulled up and took it away.
nah,
as
bro.
you said it.
We played on we stopped. I think the last time we played was a Wednesday. And we ain't go there. We got back on a Monday. When we get back on Monday to go play, the court is gone. Because nowadays people are complaining, oh, it's a bunch of kids out there playing basketball on the basketball court, and they're disrupting our peace. And I was like, get out of here, dog. Because of that, the city came, took the court down.
It's whack.
Dude, and that's what I'm saying. And that goes to what you were saying before. It's the powers to be. The powers to be.
Yeah, because if at your age or at the age that people are going out to play, if it was up to them, they would go out and do it if they had shit to do.
Mm-hmm.
But they can't play basketball anywhere. They can't skate anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You can, but if you get in trouble, and getting in trouble now is not just like us. Most of the time, it's not just a slap on the wrist, go home. It's more like we're gonna put you in jail for a day, or and call your parents or whatever. You end up with a record for nothing.
Mm-hmm. Now, see, another one that's funny. Shan said she FaceTime with her friends. None of us talked, or we just doing is our own shit while on the phone. So you just FaceTime just to
Wait, so read what they said again?
like I would FaceTime you, but we wouldn't talk. You just be on my phone.
I see that happen. I've seen people do that.
Cool. You would just be on my phone while I'm doing what I do.
There was a girl that at my last job, there's a girl that got hired on that literally did that as she's working. She would wear AirPods and she'd be on a phone call with her girlfriend her entire shift. And she would be doing her job and talking to customers. But then when she walked away and wasn't with customers, she would be talking to her friend. It was very strange to me.
You go to work, dog. Like,
yeah,
put the phone down and go to work. People are paying you. That's customer service, bro. That is customer service, man. My thing is, it's just, why are you working, man? Just respect your employer. Because see, and that's why they say, though, not everybody's meant to be a owner. Because if that was you, because I tell everybody when they work, like when I started the security team, like in Georgia a few years ago, and I told the guys that I said, I'm gonna teach y'all the business in about 6 months. I'm gonna let y'all take over. I said, but one thing I need y'all to do is don't think like employees, think like employers. If you have to drive and the hustle, you have to think of what you're doing as if you owned it and how you would want people to react in it. You know what I mean? Because I remember I was doing security for a company, and one of the guys that used to work for the company, for the establishment, came to me because you do security, say at a nightclub, you can't walk out with the drink in your hands. So I told him, I said, man, you can't leave. I didn't even know him. I said, you can't leave with a drink. Oh no, man, I used to work here. I got a tattoo of this place in my name. I said, I understand that. I said, but bro, I said, if you used to work here, you should already know you can't leave here with a drink in your hands, right? He's like, oh man, I was just gonna go. I said, if you worked here, you should know the policies, right? You should be the last person I got to come talk to about walking out here with a drink. They never worked here. They don't know the policies, but you did, and I'm sitting here now wasting my time having a conversation with you. That shit right there, I was like, come on now. That's that entitlement shit. Like you can't move like that. You can't move like that, man. At all. You can't move like that at all, man. So we have the FaceTime on the phones. What do you get out of that, though? Since you said it, Shan, what do you get out of FaceTiming your friend and showing and not talking to your friend and just doing your thing? That's like,
I just think people still crave and want social interaction. They just don't know how to do it properly, or how to make time for it properly, or how to.
They call it brunch now.
You know, brunch.
That's what they call it. Yeah, females do they brunch on Sundays. You know.
Okay.
The guys, they go watch sports at a bar somewhere. That's what they call it. Yo. Yeah, I don't see guys meeting up anymore saying, "Yo, let's go play basketball tomorrow." I don't see a lot of that. It might happen from time to time. The real ballers. I know a lot, now they got, it's not like we used to do. They got LA Fitness now. They got the indoor basketball courts and all that stuff. But they close at a certain time. You can't ball out all day. It's not like you can go down the street to a court and dribble a ball and just play a hoop. Now, if you don't buy one of them basketball joints at the house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she didn't give us an answer. She said mental health sometimes just needs someone there. I agree. I didn't see it in that sense, but that makes sense. Because sometimes, you know what, you might be going through it.
Among my friends, the activity that I think comes up the most that like I'm asked of, like that people ask me to do with them is either. Again, this is probably unique to me with the type of people that I know, but it's usually either like music related. So it's jam sessions or recording something. Whether it's for work or for play, it's either one. Shooting range is one, which I haven't been able to actually do, but it's come up a bunch of times.
So you ever been to the range?
Not in a while.
Oh, okay. What do you like to shoot?
What do I like to shoot or where?
What do you like to shoot?
Anything really. I don't care.
Where do you go when you go shoot?
I haven't in a long time. Last time I have was like a number of years ago. It was at an outdoor range with my grandfather. He had like a new rifle he was zeroing in, and we shot a variety of things.
Okay.
My favorite shooting was, we talked about this in the show. My favorite shooting was clay pigeons, skeet shooting.
Okay. That's fun.
That was really fun.
That's actually really fun. And that shit,
and
man.
Surprisingly easy.
Yeah, and that's good for your mental health too, man.
Yeah.
It released a lot of endorphins. Shen said she dropped to the AR-15. Big boss.
So jam sessions, shooting.
Roosevelt, what's up, big bro?
Gym, going to the gym, and hanging out to smoke is another one for sure. Because smoking weed is kind of one of those things that you could just do anything and do that for the most part.
You sure?
Yeah.
How much do you smoke?
A little bit daily.
A little bit, okay.
Like, I'm not the guy who's going to be stoned all day because that doesn't do me well.
No.
But I like to have a little bit at the end of my day when I go to, like, when I'm going to bed.
Because I literally had my homeboy, it was just with kids, because he lived in Jersey too. Then when I went to New York, he lived in Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I appreciate you, Roosevelt, man. That's the mayor. And no, the mayor, not
Nice.
the real mayor. I
Oh.
called him the mayor. That's like if you see him,
Yeah.
he's really
Yeah, the mayor.
always
in
had
the
his
office.
champagne glass and nice brother, man. Nice brother. So I always show him love, yo. But where was I?
He cutting ribbons on grand openings and shit.
You end up he should be.
Giant pair of scissors.
He should be. He's smooth like that, man. He should be. Still, I forgot where I was at, bro.
Something about weed.
Yeah, my homeboy. Yeah, he used to like wake and bake every day.
I used to do that too.
Yeah, and I see because he doesn't see the decline.
Because I know what you're about to say pretty much because I went through that.
Yeah,
it is a slow decline
yeah.
that you don't see
He didn't see it
on a daily basis. It's after a couple of months is when you start to see it, and it starts to weigh on it starts to fuck with your mental.
Mm-hmm. And I'm pointing it out to him. I gave him a challenge. I was like, bro, because sometimes I do that. Like, if I see myself smoking a lot of cigars and drinking a lot, especially when I went back to working out, I stopped smoking for 60 days, I think. Yeah, about 60 days. And even now, I don't smoke that much cigars. I'm cut back to probably 1 or 2 a week. I used to, where I came from, smoking anywhere between, especially when I was at the shop all the time, at least 3 to 5 a day. So cutting back, it helped me out health-wise. Because your body tells you and you feel it. And with him, I could see it. And I'm like, bro, you need to fall back on that real quick. And then said, I'm going to give you a challenge, dog. 60 days. 60 days. I don't like to go work out with people per se and say, hey, meet me at the gym at this time. It never works out.
I don't like working out with people.
No, it never works out. And
Except in high school when I had weightlifting as a class.
Yeah, it was different.
That was kind of fun.
Because everybody was in there. Sometimes they'll show up late.
Yeah.
And then I don't really interrupt my routine. Because like when I work out with my cousins in them, the routine flows. Because we're not even like, we're not bullshitting. We're not on the telephones. We just 5 sets, boom, 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 boom. What you working on? You working this one? You over here? Over here. We rotate. Da-da-da-da-da. We do a lot of cycle shit. And it works out perfectly. But, yeah, my thing is I want to see you do it. Like, if I'm like, dude, take 60 days, you do it, and I'm going to be able to tell the results. It's like somebody that want me to teach them martial arts. If they're overweight, I'm like, you take 60 days. I don't really do a whole 90 because it takes 21 days to break a habit. So I go with 60 because after 60, I want them to decide if they want to go to that 90th day. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to give you 60. You decide if that 60 is going to become 90, 180, and whatever it needs to be. So I tell them, simple. Just adjust your diet. Walk 25 to 30 minutes, 3 days a week for 60 days. But you have to adjust it because it's over 80% of your diet. You know? So if I want to put weight on, I change my diet. I put the weight on. If I want to take weight off, I change my diet, increase my cardio, take the weight off. So everything you do has to deal with the diet and your mental. So the discipline's got to come from you. That's why I've always tell people was you find a gym, you go to the gym. All you need to do, even if you don't go to the gym, if you're trying to lose weight, man, just adjust your diet, the times you eat, the times you don't eat, the portions of your food, and do this 3 days a week. Walk 25 to 30 minutes, 60 days. When I see you, I know you're serious about training. But I'm not going to take time out to say I'm going to train you and commit my time to training you when you're not even disciplined enough to take care of yourself. Let me see. Every partner had work out with me. After one day, they don't come back anymore. I wonder why. Seems to be the common denominator in that situation. Shin is just it's you.
I just, you know, with weed, I kind of, I used to think this way, and now I hate it. I hate when people say that weed is not addictive or not habit forming, because weed has a lot of misconceptions and a lot of benefits, but being not habit forming is a lie. Because I think people, they a lot of people get when like people make weed their like whole personality,
Yes. No.
and they get and they it's just like that's clearly like it's clearly a big part of your life, and it's may not be a physical addiction, but it is a mental one.
Yo, they tell people I'm not, and that's what like kills me.
Like if you have to wake up and rely on marijuana to make you ready for the day every day, like if you do that once in a while just because you enjoy it, that's fine. But if you have to do that if you feel like you have to smoke every single morning to make yourself ready for the day,
It's a problem.
that's a problem.
The problem.
If you have to smoke every single day, multiple times a day or all day just to get through life, that's a problem.
It's when, and also, you know what I hate, man? When you know it's bad is when you go to work, you go on break, you got to smoke in your car, and then you walk into that motherfucker.
It's reeking.
Smelling like
Reeking.
I hate when I'm in line, they just walk. I'm like, bro, come on, dog.
I like the smell of weed though, so I kind of like that.
Nah.
People around me that stink like weed, like, I don't really mind.
No, see, I like to wear my cologne, bro. You killing my shit. I walking in there smelling like Jamaica. No. He killing my shit. I'm like, oh. I mean, damn. I mean, don't get it fucked up. I like the smell of weed. I used to smoke. I like it. I'm gonna tell you why I quit smoking. The prep. Me can't do it.
The prep?
The prep. The rolling. And
We don't have to roll. I don't roll.
me being OCD, I used to hate watching people roll. I'm like,
I use a bong.
You know how it was? Like, well, you know, back when I was younger, it was like different because we had bongs, we had to roll shit. It's just when I watch people roll, they're like, yo, man, we're about to roll up. And it's like real slow mo and magnified in my eyes when they lick it. I'm like, I don't want it.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want it.
I don't like. I mean, I'll smoke rolled stuff like blunts and joints and whatever. If I'm with other people that offer it, if they're the one who rolls it up. When it's just me, I don't do all that. The prep is easy for me because when I go home, I sit down.
Yeah. See, and
I grind a little bit, put it in the bong, and then I take 1 or 2 hits, and then I'm straight.
See, and that's where that's what I used to do. I used to grind it. I still got my wooden peace pipe, but you know what I would take is like all I need is a hit. Like before when I was doing choreography, back before that, or if I just want to just read, I would just like take a hit, grab a book, open up my mind, and just read. If you're not abusing it, it's different. You know what I mean? But it's those cats like, I'm like, dude, breakfast, lunch, dinner, breakfast, lunch, dinner. You rather not have food than weed? Like, that's a problem. You're right. It's addictive to some people. Oh, my God. Saying, you know what, dog? You shouldn't even be out here snitching on your sister like that. Sarah, I apologize for your sister, okay? She dry snitching on you, man.
Oh, boy.
She dry snitching on you, Sarah. I got you.
What'd they say?
She said when she work out, she work them out, and all they want to do is record every workout and take selfies. Ooh. I got some receipts now. I'm gonna have to screenshot this shit and send it to your sister. Yeah. Yeah. But I see Roosevelt. What's up, man? Damn. That dude right there, man. You know, he about Roosevelt almost shit. That man put over 60 years old, dog. That motherfucker, the young as shit. Takes care of himself, smooth as hell, laid back, looking like Rick Ross. Got the beard and all, but just smooth. Good people live out here. Good people live out here. So man, yeah, I think I might later on take the kids, probably take a treating, dog. I think I got the duties to do that this week, today. Be a dad and get that shit done. That's next generation though. I don't know, dog. It's gonna be scary as fuck, man.
Yeah.
Like to see my 7-year-old now, dog. Like the shit she's reading, the stuff she's doing on the computer. Even you would be like, oh shit. I wasn't doing none of this when I was that age. Because y'all got that natural bug for it. It's like I don't know what. I guess I swear to God, I think it's the food, dog. I think we got computer chips in the food because these kids are born like they're
Some
born like.
microplastics.
I swear, man, something is good. Something is happening we don't know about, dog. All these damn shots, I don't know, man. I don't know. And I was thinking last night, though. You think they're trying to replace us with the AIs? I think because we're just gonna disappear one day, Devin. They're gonna like if you in a high power position, they're gonna drop an AI. And you gonna disappear. They're not gonna know who you are. I think about that shit, man. I think that's a replacement, and we're over here playing with that motherfucker like it's some funny shit. I don't know, bro. The only person that had a look like me was my brother. He passed on. I don't know.
I don't know either.
No. I think we might have to work backwards, dog. I think we might have to work to get broke so they don't pay attention to us versus being rich, where they'll pay attention to us. Damn, I don't
Act
know.
broke
man.
to stay rich.
Yeah.
Act rich to stay broke.
Yeah. I think, they won't be knocking us off one at a time, bro. You won't be thinking this Devin, it'd be an AI. I'm like, whoa, what happened to Devin, man? No, he filled out his application online and shit. Wanted to do a job. He never made it. Oh, he made it back. But I'm looking at your eyes. You be glitching and shit. I'm like, you all right? Why you not drinking Monsters? Why you gotta go in the electric room every day for about an hour and get charged?
I don't got
up?
a drink. I just got a battery.
Yeah, have a USB port.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Devin be at Walmart where they charged up the Teslas and sitting there. I left my battery pack at the house, son. So just come over here and plug in real quick. Move your car.
My nipples are battery terminals.
You for real, bro? Give you a jump start. Yeah. Just hook them up, bro. Just hook them up. That's the positive. That's the negative.
Where's ground? Oh, it's down here.
Oh my God, man! I think that's where we going though, bro. That's scary as shit, man.
I don't know.
They have a McDonald's with not one human worker in that motherfucker, son.
Yeah.
Like, shit is crazy, bro. That's some scary shit. Job security is a motherfucker any day now.
I wonder how much theft is there going on there though.
The party's zero. They're stealing power. That's it. Electric bill is high as shit. But dog, that shit is scary. What are we gonna do for work once that shit happens? Because they can't rid of farming. That's gonna be the next 15, 20 years is gonna be interesting, dog.
I don't know if they'll get rid of farming that easily.
Huh?
I don't know if they'll get rid of farming that easily.
No, they're not going to. They're not. I don't think they're going to, but it's gonna be not as it was back in the day when it comes to buying and selling the product you get from farming, because they want to push all this other artificial stuff on us. So that farming shit is gonna be, it's like books. You know what I mean? We're gonna have to, you know what I mean? Barnes and Nobles is probably gonna be a fucking museum that we're gonna have to sneak to, because they're gonna try to get rid of books. It's fucking crazy. Half of the movies we watch, yo, half of that shit is actually coming true. That's what fucked me up the other day, yo. It's like,
Oh boy, what'd you watch?
dog, watch the Jetsons.
Okay.
Watch the Jetsons. So, just that movie. I forgot the name of it. With
Very
Michael,
utopian.
that movie with Michael B. Jordan, where they had to burn all the books.
Fahrenheit 451.
Yes, look at that shit, man.
I read that.
Yeah,
I read the book.
I wanted to read that book. I haven't read it yet. I haven't gotten into it.
It's kind of a tough read. I won't lie. I also don't like reading books that much.
What? See what I'm saying? That's what I mean. We had to put where this kid just sat in front of me and said he don't like reading books that much. That makes me feel old. Because I love to open up. And I can't read the digital.
I'm more visual. That's the problem.
No, man, dude. But I'm visual when it comes to learning how to do things. But reading, hey, nothing like open up a
distinction.
Nice,
distinction. I don't mind reading.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the act of reading that I don't like.
Uh-huh.
It's just it's the same problem with committing to TV shows that I talk about. I just don't have the attention span to commit to sitting and reading a book because my mind starts wandering, and I have to. Here's what happens: I sit down and read, and I get into it, sure, but my mind will start wandering, and then I forget the last page that I just read, and I have to reread it like 7 times because my mind is going other places. And I'm a very audio and visual person. That's my preferred way of ingesting data, I guess, ingesting information. So sitting there and reading something just loses my attention very quickly.
Oh man, I don't know, bro. I gotta have a book, man. I mean, I got the Amazon, the Kindle, and
Audible?
all that. Yeah. Even the audio books. The audio books is tough for me too.
I think I would enjoy that better, personally.
Audio books is tough.
I think I would enjoy that better because I already
Especially,
like podcasts
like-
and stuff.
Like when I'm driving, in my ear, I don't know, because he's reading the book, but I can't see it. It fucks me up. I don't know what it is,
I don't need to see it.
but I have to see the book. I have to see the pages. Audiobook I can't get into, dog. I just can't. They're like, oh my God, hey, if you just let the book play, because I have to like Harry Potter. I read the Harry Potter books. I had to visually look at it and know, okay, I stopped here. That's what the book said. You know. No, I have one. I just don't use it because she just said to get me a Kindle. I was like, I have one. I just don't use it.
And you got a whole iPad too.
Yeah, and I have a whole iPad. So it's not that. It's just that. You know what's funny on the iPad when you flip the page? It's like it's like surreal when you flip the pages on the iPad. It's like then it shows the little car
Actual
going
page.
over. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I mean, if I'm on a plane or whatever, it's a long flight and I got no choice, I pull one up and read it. You know what I'm saying? But it's not per se my choice. My preference is to read the Kindle and have somebody read me the book because I want to hear my own little voice in my head reading my book to me and fucking up my pronunciations and shit. So, because my thing is I like to do research. Like if I read it, I want to notate something, and then I probably get a book, get the actual book, or find some time to get on the computer and do some research and make sure that what I'm reading is what it is. That's what makes a good read for me.
You know, I like to research too, but I think the way my mind takes in and processes and stores that information is a little different than the way you're describing. Because it is very rare for me to physically take notes of things. You know, like a lot of people, it's common, if they need to remember something, they'll write it down somewhere. I don't really do that, but yet I still remember it.
Me,
90% of the time.
I remember a lot of stuff too.
Now,
But-
if it's something like detailed, like I need a lot of information,
Yeah.
then that's more than
Yeah.
I can handle.
See,
I'll have to write it down, put it in text in my notes in my phone or whatever. Like if I'm preparing something for my podcast, then that's the type of thing. Like I could put it in my phone and I'll reference back to it.
Okay.
But if it's like I'm researching something, and a topic, and I need to remember one little snippet of that, my brain, I can visualize it almost like a big bookshelf. I slap a little sticky note on the front of that book and put it back on the shelf. And when I need it mentally, my brain says, "Okay, topic is the book." Takes topic, looks at front. Here's note. Okay, remember this thing. I don't need to physically write it out to remember it.
It's not memory. My thing is just the follow up.
Okay.
Like, if I'm reading a book and it's something that's supposed to be a fact in the book that I need to go reference and check out. Like they'll say something like, back in 1834, this person committed this act. Da 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 da. I would take my time to say, oh, okay, let me research the person's name and that act and dig deeper into what happened
Sure.
in that situation. That's what I mean. That way, it helps me bring substance to the book and the material that I'm reading. It's just a PI in me.
Sure.
I have to know shit, so I like to study shit and make sure it's factual.
But then I'm talking what when it comes to when it's time for your mind to recall that information.
No, it's a wrap. Like I said, I'm dyslexic, so my memory is off the hook. You know what I mean? That's why I do so well when it comes to like plays and books and even choreography. Even like choreography, I could watch you do something and in a battle, it's a rap, and I'm gonna take it. And I'm gonna put my own spin on it. You know what I mean? So to record anything, it's I can go to a crime scene and just sit there and look at what happened. And I can replay that in my mind 10,000 ways and flip it upside down to Thursday. I know exactly what I need to do. That's what I love about being dyslexic is your memory's sharp because you're using both sides of your brain. You're using the left and the right side. So it's actually not, I thought it was a disability at first, but it's actually an ability. I like the way I put that. We haven't did that all day today.
No.
So yeah, man. Yeah, you're right, Sean. I like to visualize what I'm reading exactly, because when I have a book in my hands, it's like you there. When somebody's reading it to you, you feel like that person is there, not you. So that's the difference between the audio book and actually touching the book. And
Yeah, I think from my end, I don't really care if it's me reading it or someone reading it to me. I just want the information.
plus, you said you like a lot of what, sci-fi.
I like sci-fi. Yeah.
What's the best book you've read so far?
Ender's Game.
Ender's
Game was good.
Who's the author?
Orson Scott Card.
Okay. Who's your favorite author?
I don't think I have a favorite author.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't read enough to really make a favorite, I think.
Yeah, I like Patterson and John Grisham. They're my two favorite. Their books is fucking legendary. Hey guys,
Isn't James Patterson?
James Patterson.
Isn't that like the most published person
oh
like
my God,
ever?
yes. But
Doesn't he have like thousands and thousands of
thousands?
books?
Him and John Grisham. Oh my good.
What do they write about mostly? 'Cause I
Shit.
feel like they write everything.
They write everything. They like one of my favorite books is that's from James Patterson, the Street Lawyer. That motherfucker right there is heavy. It's a fucking beautiful book. Okay, Shan like romantic and heated books. What about you, Shamika Tenko? Roosevelt, what kind of books you like to read, man? Nisha, what kind of books you like to read? Let me know what we reading. We should start a book club, a Real Talk with Jay book club, so we get real books. Go to Barnes and Nobles on Saturday mornings and just read, and then come on, take a day out the week and just talk about the books, the book that we read. We all got to read the same book though.
I won't be there for this.
You won't be.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you.
You be the engineer for it.
Yeah,
You can get the audio book.
I'll watch a summary on YouTube.
Yeah. See, saying John Grissom and James Patterson, they write a lot of crime solving books too. Shaquinta, yes. Shaquinta is definitely nice. Her books are off the hook. If you like romantic novels and stuff like that, Shaquinta will definitely. She came on the show. Yeah. We gotta get her back on here though.
I have a weird thing. So going back to reading, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get lost quickly when it comes to reading narratives, and I read quickly and I comprehend quickly. But you give me a book, it's going to take me a long time to get through the book because I just my mind wanders.
See, and that's the thing, bro. When I get a book, you open it, one page, I dive into it, like one page, and I'm like, it takes my mind off of everything else, and I'm just reading. Sometimes I get lost in that shit. Just read, and before I know it, the book is done.
I get lost in the sense of I read 2 pages and I forget where I'm at. I don't even know what's going on.
Oh, man, you gotta see me. Like I said, dyslexia. I had to learn how to use a border. So what I do is I use a border, and I just one line after another 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 line until I started using it on my fingers. So that when I read, I be like a blind person. So I'm like, done, because I have to knock out all this noise down here and just focus on what's in front of me.
Maybe I wonder if that says something about us, about the difference between us, because you've dyslexia and you love reading. I have
Because
I probably have the opposite of dyslexia. I read and really comprehensively and don't like reading.
Because you know why I love to read? Because before I found that I had dyslexia,
Yeah,
when I was looking at
it was a struggle, I'm
books,
sure.
it was a struggle. It was
Yeah.
like looking at a puzzle. All the words were scrambled in my eyes, and then I discovered what my problem was, and I found an answer. So what I lacked, I've picked up and mastered that shit.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
I've always had really good.
Oh, Shamika,
Reading.
your books is at the shop, ma'am.
I've always had really high reading and writing and comprehension skills ever since like 3rd grade. And like, yeah, I have no problem with that. It's just sticking to a narrative for throughout a whole novel or something. I just get lost.
That's why I like the Patterson. I don't really do the erotic stuff. A lot of the girls do that, man. But I like my crime, investigative type books, and some of the like the Harry Potter books are good. I think my daughter had me read Twilight with her. Yeah, I like the horror joints too. Yeah, I like when you watch a movie and the book in the movie is in line. Like
the Ender's Game movie was very different from
it
the
was
book.
yes.
You read that book too?
Yes, and Harry Potter's probably the only thing I think I've read and watched that was actually on point.
Was it?
Yeah.
I never saw or read Harry Potter.
My God, man! They used to come out in November because my oldest son, he used to go to the movies every year on his birthday to watch Harry Potter. So
were they coming out every year?
yeah, they're coming out every November, man, for a minute since 2008.
I didn't know they came out back to back like that.
Because my daughter, she used to love Twilight, so we used to read Twilight. She used to read, and she was a reader. I'm talking about my daughter used to read anywhere between 2 to 3 books a week, like through and through. Ever since she was younger.
See, people who do that, it's impressive to me because I can't do that.
Everything she was younger, man. 2 or 3. I swear. Shin said she's watching Harry Potter right now. Yeah. Tinka. the Twilight read was a good read too. The movie was the movies was kind of off.
For Twilight?
Mm-hmm. The movie was kind of off for Twilight. Yeah. Yep. The 5 book. Yeah, it is. It is 5 books for the Harry Potter series. It's 5 books.
And 7 movies?
Yeah.
Where'd the extra 2 movies come from?
Mm-hmm. Well, sometimes they extend. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes they expand it. So
kind of like with like they did that with The Hobbit.
yeah, the Hobbit was cool too.
The trilogy?
Yeah.
Really? A lot of people complain about it.
I ain't have no complaints about the Hobbit.
I don't really have an opinion.
Yeah. You just watched it.
Said,
fuck it.
I only watched 1.5 of the 3.
He didn't like it then.
Not that I didn't like it. I just didn't care. I guess. Well, the first one I watched in theaters with my mom because my mom's a big Hobbit fan of the book. We watched the first one in theaters when it came out. Second one when it came out, I watched on a date, and we didn't do a whole lot of movie watching. I'll tell you that. So I didn't really retain any of what happened. And then third one I never saw.
Najee, what's up? What's good? Talking about a famous author. She just jumped on. How you doing, ma'am? We have to get you back on the show so we can talk books with you. Start a book club. One with the fellas, one with the ladies. Because I'm not going to... I like crime, shooting, spaceships. Now... what's your feel on Star Wars, bro? Seriously.
Fucking love Star Wars. Didn't we just talk about this the other day?
Yeah.
I love Star Wars.
I had to get your feel on that.
I love Star Wars in general. I'm very nitpicky about it too, though. Because there's certain... I've read a couple of Star Wars books too, actually, growing up. I don't feel like I retained much.
All right, Najee, we're gonna have to put you on. She down with the vibes.
I read Star Wars. I think it was just called X-Wing, and it was about like an X-Wing squadron. And then I read another one called, I think it was called Slave One, and it was about Boba Fett and like his friend team of bounty hunters.
But me with
his extended universe stuff,
bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's too much. It just I'm almost 50. Since I was 15, 16, they've been doing Star Wars. I'm just like overdrowned.
That's how a lot of people feel.
Yeah,
a lot of people are tapped out.
I'm over it. Yeah, I'm just over it. It's like
I understand that entirely.
I'm like shit, y'all. You think Skywalker and them?
Well, I'm worn out from it in the sense of I like it still, but I'm ready for a new take, new shit within the universe,
dude.
Which is what we were talking about the other day when I like Star Wars when they explore more stuff going on within the galaxy at large, because they focus way too much, and that's my problem with the sequel trilogy, is they came back around when they had this opportunity to move on with new shit, new stuff, and they just came back to, oh well, this faction that's basically the Empire is back again, and the rebellion, even though it's not the rebellion, it's the Resistance is here to fight them, and everything's kind of the same, and we're still dealing with Skywalkers and all that.
It's like, dude, let's kill that, man.
And what was the other? Palpatine's back somehow in episode 9, which made no sense.
Crazy, bro.
Fuck that. That made no sense. But what I do like is the newer shows, because they're kind of exploring different stuff.
The characters.
More characters and more locations, more concepts, more just content that is something different.
Yeah, see, Shane, I agree with you. I like the old shit, but damn, boy, I'm like, Oh, they won. Let it
Mhm.
go. I want a winner and a loser. I'm like, every time you think somebody wants some shit, they come back and be like, nah, not yet. Like a soap opera, bro. They just keep writing.
Well, I
dead
mean,
characters in.
it is a drama. It is a what do they call it? Space opera.
It's space.
It is called the space. Literally,
That's what it's called.
Yeah, space
opera.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's what the genre is.
Damn. Yeah, Erica Kane in a spaceship. But nah, that new stuff, I don't know. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it.
I hated episodes 8 and 9. 7 was okay.
Mm-hmm.
8 and 9, I think, are just. I just wish could go back in time and redo that.
Let me tell you something.
Because they did not. The biggest flaw is the fact that they didn't. When Disney took over, they didn't plan out the trilogy ahead of time, which they should have done.
Mm-hmm.
They just went one at a time with different directors, and the next director had to clean up the mess from the one before, and stuff. You know, the first one was J.J. Abrams. I think he did an okay job. The next one was Ryan Johnson. I think it was a mess. And then a different guy was supposed to do episode 9, and he backed out or something, or got fired, or whatever happened, fell through. It reverted back to J.J. Abrams again. But the problem is, because of how left turn episode 8 was, plot-wise, JJ had to go and like try to fix the mess while simultaneously continuing and finishing a story. You know what I mean? It's too much going on.
Too much, man.
Episode 9 is just a wreck.
That's just too much.
I'm glad that it's over and that the new stuff that they plan to come out is like separate. It's like it's the same universe and everything, but it's a new story.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
Shannon talking about watching that daggone Hallmark movie for the holidays. What is that? She make it seem like it's a must do. You got to watch a Hallmark movie for the holidays. You went to the holiday movies, bro?
Am I into holiday movies?
Yeah.
Depends on the movie, I guess. I'm not into Hallmark movies. I feel like they're all carbon copies of the same thing.
God.
If you've seen one of them, you've seen them all.
Oh, you heard that? Devin said if you've seen one Hallmark movie, you've seen them all. You about to get some backlash.
I'm sorry. Sorry to give it to you like that. But
I ain't saying nothing.
I feel like all the Hallmark Christmas movies are literally the same plot.
Shit, right?
I was literally talking about this with my grandma the other day because she said that she likes watching them because of that, because it's all kind of mindless and she can just turn off her brain a little bit. Okay, Home Alone's a good counterexample. Home Alone is different.
Home Alone is different. The Christmas Story I love.
Christmas Story is great.
Yeah, that's my shit. That's my shit.
Those like classic, like stop motion animation ones, are all good.
They're my two favorite
but those
ones.
Hallmark movies are just
I can't do the Hallmark movies.
I can't do those.
My two movies that I like for the holidays, I ain't gonna lie.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Hell no. That was hard though. I like that hard movie, but I like the Christmas Story and the Chocolate Factory. That's my shit, hands down. Yep. And the Grinch.
Charlie and Chocolate Factory? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even think about that as a Christmas movie.
That's what I consider that as a Christmas movie. That's when we used to watch it. So
I think the setting within the movie is dark and dreary, and
I love it. Yeah, I know. That's what makes it nice.
And almost winter-like, but I've never in my life considered that a Christmas movie.
Yeah, because it's the darkest thing I found around Christmas to watch. Besides somebody killing each other, so I love it.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yep. They are either finding love, finding you. Don't know. He was a prince.
Yeah. Now my grandma described it as, this girl grows up in hometown, leaves hometown for business, comes back to visit hometown, falls in love with guy almost ruins it with her, and she leaves, but then he makes it all good in the end. And
Meet
then
you
they
at
get
the
together.
airport.
It's all, yeah.
Yeah, they run to the airport or the bus station.
The guy convinces her not to leave.
He's got a job in Paris. He's leaving at 8:00.
Yeah.
If you want her,
Famous architect is he bought my childhood favorite community center, and they're gonna tear it down and turn it into a mall.
Shit. That is crazy.
You know, it's always something like that.
Oh my God. So we're gonna lay there. We're gonna lay there and watch that shit. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's not for me.
Come on. Like, all the movies are like that, though. All the romantic movies are like that. Like, I haven't seen one that somebody wasn't moving and they had to come and save. They messed up all of a sudden. It's just you and only you. Blah 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 blah. Pepe Le Pew. Start freaking French and shit. Yeah, some Pepe Le Pew shit. But hey man, love is love, dog. Love is love. You're a hopeless romantic, what they call y'all. You know, because Devin is a hopeless romantic. Devin is a romantic, debonair young man. I would believe I am.
Debonair Devin.
Debonair Dev, yo, DD baby.
I do like. I am romantic. I like romantic stuff.
I seen him cry the other day. That shit's crazy.
What?
He said what?
What?
Yeah, man. I got Devin some McDonald's. Devin was like, "Oh my God, James, I can't believe you cared." I was like, you know, it is what it is.
For the record, that didn't happen. It's a funny story, though. That's a funny idea.
Dev's like, thugs cried too, Jay. I got you, Dev. I got you.
Real G's weep.
Yeah, man. I said, I got you, Dev, man. But I'm lying. He ain't cry. He tried to make me do push-ups.
What?
Like, you a thug, boy. Stop it. Stop the bullshit, Jay.
Oh, my God. Stop
the bullshit, Jay. You can't be out here crying. Yeah. I was the one crying. I confess. I'm a crier. Because they're telling us now as men, we got to be more sensitive. So we got to be out here crying and shit. And the women's going to start holding the doors open for us. Chivalry's about to be flipped. Yep. That's what they want us to do. They want us to be that guy or not. Yep. So if you want us to be more...
I just hold the door for people just because.
Mm-hmm. But if you want us to be more sensitive as men, I figured you guys got to open doors for us and shit. You know what I mean?
Start paying for our meals.
Yeah.
Picking us up for dates.
Yeah, man. Seriously.
Yeah, I'm for it. I'm all about it. Let it happen.
Mm-hmm. Fly us out.
They really want it to happen so bad. All right, let's do it.
They be flying us out.
Yeah.
Can you imagine me and you just talking? Hey, yo. Yeah, I met Shorty the other day. She gonna fly me out for the weekend. Free meal, free flight, free hotel. Oh, we posted. I can't even picture that.
Oh my God.
Oh shit. I can't even picture what that conversation is. It's like, Mike, what's up, bro?
Instead of like buying
good morning, bro.
Instead of like you know how like the stereotype would be like, oh, the guy bought her a necklace or whatever, or some shit. A bracelet, earrings, whatever. And for the guy, it's like, he bought me a Gucci Glock. Bought me a brand new Glock.
You know what I'm saying?
She bought me a Camelback.
Our conversation will be different as hell. Yo, Devin, guess what? I got mad at her yesterday. She came back with a tailor-made AK.
Yeah.
With a Gucci grip.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, what you get? Man, she bought me a 10-inch blade. Like red blade.
Oh, my boy Mike Farrow in the chat over there. What's up?
Shit.
What's up, Mike?
Yeah, man. He just came on.
Came in the last 10 minutes, bro.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Yeah, that's... Hey, Mike, tell him. Yeah, you came in the clutch, bro. Came in the clutch. Uh-huh. You sense love a man that's sensitive and also masculine. Cry and beat your ass at the same time with tears in your eyes. Say something. Devon.
Yeah.
Mike just screamed your name. I heard that shit. Mike, you
I
loud, bro. You loud.
All lowercase.
Nah, yeah. Capital D. Devon.
Devon.
But yeah, man. Yeah, so we're going to be sensitive and we're going to cry and fight at the same time with tears. And yeah. Well, you got. He said, "Don't judge, bro."
He's on his planning period. He's a teacher.
Oh.
Well, he's a. I guess he's a sub. I don't know his position.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, what do you do again?
Yeah. What
Are
do you
you
do, Mike?
you, I know what you do. I'm playing, but specifics.
Mike's like, man, there you go, snitching on me, son. Nobody
No,
got to know what I do.
He's a really good musician friend of mine. I'll show you. He's a regular at the open mics. He's awesome.
That's what's up, man. And that's what I'm talking about, dog. But man, you know what, man? We had a real. I enjoyed today's show, dog.
Yeah.
Dude, so we covered a lot of shit, and we come back to men crying and women opening doors and treating us like we treat them. That's the weird conversation for. Like, if I had a dude that came at me with that bullshit, I'd be like, man, I gotta go, dog. I can't see it. I can't see that. Guess what? She got me. Oh, she said she a stripper. Okay, cool.
Bet.
Yeah. Well,
Mike Fro, he's a full-time science tutor.
Yeah. So you got good. You got good benefits.
I hope so. Maybe he doesn't.
No, she said she was a stripper. I said she got good benefits.
Oh, she got good benefits.
Yeah. Otis and them boys take care of you. I want to say big up to Matt too, man. The beard. I want to big up the lie.
What's he up to? What are they up to?
They're good, man. I think Matt's gonna be here Thursday.
Word.
Yeah. La might make, she's got her thing she's planning on doing, so she's gonna probably do some shows remote and whatnot. We gotta get with her on that. But I just want to, big up to the other two. And Unc. Big up to Unc. So, big up to Unc and big up to Jay. Jay Marthon. Josh Francis. Just want to big those guys up. We're going to have a good show on Friday because the world of sports has been kind of crazy this week, man. It's been kind of crazy this week. Khalid Jackson. What's up, Khalid? Yo, congratulations to Khalid, too, man. She's doing big things. La Maison. She's doing her thing, man. Fucking like my little sister right there, dog. Tell Arthur I said what's up. She's in Paris doing this big out there with her own clothing line. So they always like to see the sisters out there do their thing and show them all the love in the world. But shoot, what time is it? 9:57. Khalid got to come on the show, Khalid, so we could discuss fashion. Sound like JC don't know. Got to come on the show so we can discuss fashion. But
sound like we really get in the role reversal.
Yeah, man. But she's like really gifted though, man. You gotta see her stuff, dude. You gotta see her stuff, man. She's really, really gifted, man. Strong minded, good mother. Their whole family is like a good family. Like her husband, her kids, they all active in the community. They give back and they're good people though. Good people. So I'm glad to see her. I'm glad to see her on watching and supporting. I love it. So, Mike, it's 9:58. What you got for your final words, Dev?
Let me get a McChicken.
You want to make
and a McDouble? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. The people in the menu in line who are just like, yeah, let me get a.
Why do we do that, bro? We always do that. I do it too sometimes. But I'm like, it's automatic when you're standing in that line. You're looking at that board. You're like,
yeah, let me get a.
And then sometimes you think you know what you want, and you're like, yeah, let me just get some fries. You think at the menu for 30 minutes, be like, yeah, let me get some fries.
Oh yeah, Mike. Yes, sir.
Oh shit, you producing. That's what I'm saying.
Helping.
You producing a country album. When you gonna tell me this? Wait, see.
Well, one of the beats I'm working on
we're gonna be like females out here because Devin is keeping secrets. Shit, we don't keep secrets over here, Dev. What you got going on, bro?
Listen, sometimes you stay low until you're ready to reveal some shit.
Okay. I feel you on that, bro. This man. Oh, Khalid, that's right. I'm gonna have to hit Khalid up.
Ooh, 10 o'clock.
It's 10 o'clock. I'm going to hit Khalil up because Shin just gave me a good idea. So I'm going to hit her up and talk to her, have her design my own headscarves. Yeah. I'm going to see that.
That's a very good idea.
On that note, thank you guys for joining. On behalf of me and Devin, stay safe out there. It's Halloween. Trick or treat safe. Make sure the kids are good tonight.